Territory we go this morning for market futures here right across the board. That's the Nasdaq right now to the downside, but we're trying to hold higher here so far this morning. 0.5% right now in negative territory. The SPY or S&P about the same. 590 gets rejected there on that last bounce to the upside. A lot of people talking about the deficit over the past couple of days. That has yields sharply higher this morning. 10-year back above 4.5 for the first time in a couple of weeks. Go out to the 30-year, even higher than that. 2-year, though, is kind of stable. So we'll see how things play out here this morning. Again, higher yields, typically not great for stocks. Individually this morning, lots of things moving around once again. Tesla bouncing around, lots of headlines after the close yesterday or in the afternoon yesterday with Elon making that appearance on CNBC. We'll touch on Tesla coming up here. There was also a lot of retailers moving around. We had Home Depot going back a couple of days ago or yesterday morning. We'll get more from the retail side of things coming up here this morning. But cybersecurity in focus as well. PanW downside to the tune of about 5% off their report. Just made a new low here. Ouch.
Yeah. It was a good report, but with these type of high valuation stocks, Brendo, you got to beat and you got to guide higher.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that. So selling off, lots to talk about today, guys. UNH in focus. Oh boy, big allegations. We'll talk about that, about a misappropriation of assets as well as mistreatment of some of the nursing home individuals. Tesla also, as you mentioned, robo-taxi in focus. Their target reporting, kind of a bad report. They're down about 6%. Google with their I/O event going to be definitely in focus with Waymo announcing over 250,000 rides. And AMD and Nvidia, Brendo, yet again in focus as Elon says he's going to be scaling to about 1 million GPUs. Oh, baby. That's a good look. And XPEV.
Yeah.
Wow. Almost
nice
6%.
Report. Yeah, really
booming.
Really nice report. Yeah, I was reading about that, the AI story this morning. It's 30,000 a piece. I mean, that's $30 billion he's going to drop on that. So, yeah, Elon doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on XAI. Lots of things. Apologies for the noise, guys. Construction is underway. We're making it bigger. We're making it better. Just bear with us. It's going to be worth it in the end. Trust me. Happy Wednesday here, guys.
Yeah, happy Wednesday. I've already said, right now I think there's some flooring coming up. But whenever that wall comes down, I want some swings on the sledgehammer. That's all I'm saying. That's fun stuff. What do you mean get in line?
Get in line, Neil.
Randy just drops by, drops off the plums, and then quickly
he's going to go get his
get in line, he says. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I've never paid to go to one of those demolition rooms. We call it the rage room, whatever they call them. Yeah. And I don't think I would pay to do one. No. But if a wall's coming down and a sledgehammer's around, and it's coming down anyways, why not have a few swings, get some exercise in there, and have some fun? So you'll hear that noise for a little bit. UNH can't seem to not have bad headlines, but they bought it up again. So
idiots said that.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, some of what you read in this Guardian report, which I know we're going to get into and Sharif's going to get into, is not. It's not very good. It's not very good, and it doesn't sound good. It makes you feel, I don't know, it's the kind of stuff that I remembered why I sold it before, and now that I'm back into it, win, lose, or draw, I don't want to consider a long-term hold. This is a trade stock for me, and then just long-term. Don't like what you hear about how they do their business, although some people would say that that's rampant in the industry. But yeah, a lot to get through. I mean, Google had their event. It was a sell the news event. The Elon interviews ended up being sell the event kind of stuff as well. So even though that wasn't an event, that was the net effect of it. It's almost like the market was, we had our rally, and now we're looking for excuses to kind of take some profit maybe.
Yeah, going to be another fun day. What will today bring? I see someone in the chat. What's up, Matt? Oh, yeah, I have no idea. Tesla here, 245 again. Are we going to try that 250 level one more time? But yeah, the market down, Tesla up. So looking at that level one more time, 350. Yesterday's hold on Tesla. I mean, me and Darren and I in the after show last night, when I was I did exactly what Brendan did there. I heard the GPU number. And I was like, aren't those things expensive, And I was like, 1 million of those? The cheapest one was 30,000. The most expensive, the R2D2 one, was 75,000 or something. And then I remember just saying wow, I hope Elon gets some sort of discount.
Families and friend discount?
A families and friend discount, but like a quantity discount, you know? Like if you buy, right, it's like buy 3, get 1 free. It's like, or buy 1, get 3 free. It's like our pizza deal there in Brampton.
I'm sure there'd be bulk deals of some kind.
You think he phones up Jensen and is like, look, I want $1 million. You just charge me for 950,000 of them and throw in 50,000 GPUs?
Don't you kind of feel that's how they work? Like the big boys? Like
I like the story for Nvidia, but the problem for me is that's not recurring. Like there's only so many companies that can pay $30 billion. And that's fine. It's great for Nvidia, but I just wonder that once XAI and all this stuff and Tesla and all these guys use up all of these GPUs, then what's next? And I think that's the problem. There's only so many avenues to go.
Yeah, and then you ask yourself, okay, well then what does the upgrade cycle end up being? Who knows now? It's good now, but it's like, what does it end up being in the future?
Well, that's what you spend $30 billion, and I just think like, when's the next tranche of that spending? And it's like, once you've built something right now, I don't know. You can have conversations. Like I was just fooling around with Grok. I haven't even been on an LLM in a while. Like we use it here just to do random things, but I forget what I was asking it. And it was like the different modes that you can have on Grok now. There's like, there's the sort of the 18 plus mode, there's like the translator, there's the funny mode, there's the romantic mode, there's all of these things.
Specific kind of tasks.
It's just like, wow, a translator. Cool. Like nowadays, forget about learning a second language. I mean, it's great for the mind, but it's like you can just tell Grok something and then it will just speak it in Hungarian.
Well, in the Google event last night, they had had the real time, it was a real live translation. It's like, don't get me wrong, I fully support learning like a language. I'm terrible at them, and I think people like myself are just never going to bother. But like I want to keep my daughter in French immersion because I think it's good for teaching kids how to learn and all that kind of stuff. But wow, and what they're able to pull off now is truly amazing. But it's like at some point you also want to see let's see some monetization of this stuff. But that's more directly. Figure it out at like Alphabet, because at $250, like if you're only like the $250 a month for the higher end, great, but like how much adaptation do you really get out of that?
Charging $250 a month?
That's the I forget what they're calling their supreme. What are they calling it, Adara? AI Ultra. That's what they're calling it. AI Ultra for Google came at $250, and I'm not like you can see the reaction of the stock after the event. Like people were kind of underwhelmed in the general sense. Yeah, sell the news is normal though.
No common person is paying $250.
That's what I'm saying, and no, of course not.
You had that hot take that I said $5 a week in gas, and you were like, that means a lot to certain people. And this kind of a thing here, that seems to be unbelievable. I think if you're an enterprise,
if you're an enterprise, yeah, sure. But even
Brendan will probably pay for it,
and then we all get it.
Yeah, wow, yeah. So Brendan just telling us ChatGPT Pro. Yeah,
but if the leader is charging less than you,
it might be good value. I'm just saying, like, it seems like all of these things are so cool, but I think about it. Does it actually change my life? It makes it maybe funner, more easy, but I don't know. Like to ask ChatGPT where the local Starbucks is, or just open up Google Maps and type in Starbucks. Like I get there's a convenience thing to that.
The convenience for me is that whatever I'm using, like if I happen to be an X, then I don't need to go somewhere else to answer a question. If I'm in a WhatsApp conversation, this is the thing for me I found with AI. If I'm in a WhatsApp conversation and something comes up, I'm not leaving WhatsApp to go answer. I'm just asking Llama because I'm already there. So for myself, that's what AI's turned into. It's a complete convenience thing where everybody better have it because you want a person to stay with what they're doing and not leave to go answer that question somewhere else. That's why I think the ChatGPT browser, whatever it ends up being, they can suck people in. Now, this is the thing you're using all the time. Great. But that's why I still believe in like the super app, because I think like Meta and Amazon and Apple, they can just keep you in there and you don't leave, then who cares? Because ChatGPT is great, but I don't need to use ChatGPT if I'm right in the middle of something. I don't want to go somewhere else. I just want to stay where I am and get my question answered or figure out what I need to figure out and not have to go somewhere else. And that's where the big boys, I think, can still.
I feel like we're getting like a lot. It's creating like a lazy. Like it's great to have that information, but like now everything is so easy to get. I'm almost jealous of like the kids these days. They're gonna have everything. Oh, I have to read Shakespeare. Yeah, bullshit. I don't have to read anything. All right, Grok, here we go. You know, and it's like,
hey man, we had
Cole's notes. But then you had to go to Cole's. You had to go to the mall. You actually had to socialize with people. Do you remember socializing with people? How fun that was.
Yo,
you know, and it's like then you had to actually speak to somebody and pay them actual paper money, all of that. But yeah, we are old. That's all. We are old.
Good old paper.
But I mean, it's changing everything, and it's just it's kind of just one of those things now, right? Like I used to like going to the library, for example. You know, I never really liked going to the library, but you look at encyclopedias, looking things up. Like now they don't look anything up.
Remember when you do a research paper in school? You would spend so much time in the library just finding what you needed, and then you still had to do the work.
Right, and then you had to sign out the books and this and that.
You had to return.
It's like now you can ask these things anything. I mean, it's getting great and it's getting very efficient, and $250 a month apparently.
Yeah, $250
Encyclopedia, yeah. Google, I guess, took care of that business real quick.
Through that.
The search engine.
Oh, shout out to Chris Ellen here. Wall-E coming to fruition. That's a whole other level. Because, yeah, like when you all of a sudden everyone's just sitting in their recliner and we're just not moving at all. They made a sequel to Wall-E?
I don't know, maybe did they? I think that was like one of the last DVDs that we ever got.
I don't think did they make a sequel? If they made a sequel to Wall-E,
Wall-E 2? Wall-E 2?
I loved that movie. It was a good one. There's another one.
Yeah, kids can't write in cursive. I don't even think they do cursive anymore.
I don't think they teach that anymore.
No, I think it just got brought back.
Oh, really?
In Ontario. Yeah, cursive writing. Yeah, because my kids are doing that. Yes, so actually I don't think, I can confirm cursive writing is back in the Ontario. Like, if all of a sudden a wall just comes down behind us randomly, please do not fear that. Like, Ramin's doing a lot of graphics, and those are fake. But if that really comes down,
think of a hole comes that wall right over there.
Right. Like if you see the Kool-Aid Man come jumping out of that wall, that is possible.
I'm asking for
that.
That
is very possible.
I love Kool-Aid.
Andre, when you're ready, run that Studio A promo one more time in case people are like wondering what in the hell are these guys even talking about right now. But yeah, we are going under a big renovation.
Major renovation.
Whenever you're ready, man, just run it over top of me. Don't even worry about me talking here because I don't know if do you have it, Andre? Oh, just a second. Okay.
Get it?
We'll get it. But yeah, we are renovating. We want to thank everybody for their patience and their support while we do this. It could be a little loud. This I haven't seen this one.
That's new.
I haven't seen this. That's Brendan and Sharif blowing up over there. So we'll see if that ever. Oh, here we go. 2, 1. Oh yeah.
Oh, that was Adair was on there.
Ramin is very violent with these. I noticed.
Yes.
It's everything is blowing up
or melting.
It's not whatever it is. It's not people working or anything like that. They are violent explosions happening. Like there's bombs being planted. We're all sitting. I saw a video the other day of this hotel coming down. I think it was in New Jersey. It was pretty awesome.
I might have seen the same one because we showed Erin one, the demolition.
Maybe it wasn't Jersey, but
and we're like, and she's like, "Wow, that's so cool." I'm like, and
like 3, 2, 1.
If you like, that's a type of engineer because she wants to be. My daughter wants to be an engineer, and I'm like, that's a type of engineer. So if you want to do cool stuff like that, then make sure you study hard, math, physics, all that good stuff, and then you get to do fun stuff like blow up buildings. For real, that's a real job. Someone gets paid good money. And she's like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You just get her, just like needle them in there. Then next thing you know, she's like, Daddy, I want to blow stuff up. And then that will have been my fault.
Perfect. Well, that's good, man. You got to do what she likes. This KC Mint here, this is one for Sharif. She says, or he says, we need Sharif to say, boom. You know how Sharif says that. There we go. Yeah, you got to get that deep, from your gut. Right there. And that's the blow up sound right there. But okay, well, that was a fun morning. Target missed today and their downside as well. Some of the retail names starting to go a little downside. I got some on eyelash.
Target's getting moked.
Chinese EVs starting to go upside again with XPEV. That was XPEV, the symbol, of course. That's starting to go upside. Nasdaq trying to fall down a little bit. Yesterday was a little bit of a mixed day. Well, hopefully we can. I'm still on Tesla here, by the way. Here's XPEV right here, just to look at it because we're talking about it. It was up 5%. I'm not sure what it's up now. 6%, okay? So, nicely gapping a little bit higher. And the thing about XPEV, which is really nice about the chart, is you're actually trying to break through right into here. You got to get above 22 bucks, but that's real nice, man. This stock didn't even come close to the 200 period moving average. There's so many names that we talk about. We're so focused on Mag 7 most of the time, especially in our own portfolios or on the news. They're always looking at the Nasdaq, but there are some undercover stocks here that continue to really do well. XPEV, even year to date, right? Like January, you're doing nice on this name, 12 bucks to 2021. So XPEV holding fort here. All right, bro, where's the bear? Says Hamster.
Right here.
Yo, bro, we got it right here. I mean, I don't know.
The ears don't look.
Oh, you want me to talk bearish?
There we go.
We'll be talking bearish soon. Don't worry about that. Oh, yeah, and then the Florida Panthers just absolutely annihilate 5-2 the Carolina Hurricanes.
No problem.
Like, it's just too bad the Maple Leafs ran into Florida, but you got to beat
really
everybody.
good.
You got to beat everybody to get there.
That's the thing. Like you beat a potential champion.
Oh, where's Bears?
To win any championship? It's just a matter of when you do it. If you had to do it in the first round, you do it in the first round. If you do it at the Cup final, you do it at the Cup final. So
right.
We would have had to take out a team like that to get there.
I see what the chat is saying. What's up, Hamster? Thank you for asking. Yeah, Bears versus Bulls is fine. He's taking a day off, so everything is fine. With that, we so behave in the chat. I'll just be banning everybody.
Be good.
Like that's the whole thing, right? Like the ban hammer is out in full force today. But shout out to Bears versus Bulls. Doing well. Everything is fine. So don't. Thank you for asking about him. That's very important to us. But all right, Brendan, 8:46. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, we'll get Ramin to take care of the chat later on. So definitely everyone behave. She'll start blowing up people. This is what I was talking about early on this morning. This is the 30-year. So 502 right now on the 30-year. This is the highest point this thing has been at all year long. Just FYI, so that's not good for stocks. If you go over to the 10-year, same thing. Not at year highs yet, but we're back to this last pivot, 4.54 in the 10-year.
And they're saying a lot of Japanese bondholders, Brendo, are starting to sell their U.S. treasuries because the Bank of Japan increased the rate on some of the shorter dated treasury yields there. And so they're funneling money back into their own countries, selling U.S. debt, U.S. treasuries, and funneling it into Japanese treasuries. So obviously that's going to push yields higher as it pushes bond prices lower. So we'll have to continue to watch that. And obviously the issue with the federal spending in the United States, the market really pricing in more deficits, even though with the $1.5 trillion apparently that this big, beautiful bill is supposed to be cutting, Brendo, not really pleasing some of the Republicans on the SALT side. They want to see more cuts.
That is going to, quote unquote, explode the deficit, apparently, according to President Trump. Speaking of, Jensen with some fighting words for Mr. Trump, saying that the chip ban or restrictions, a complete disaster, cost billions.
I didn't hear this during the Biden administration, though. It's very interesting that it's coming out now, especially with Donald Trump having loosened some of this, the chip restrictions with the removal of the AI anti-diffusion law. So I don't know exactly where this new push for deregulation is coming. I didn't hear about it in the previous administration. Yeah. Maybe he's taking
That's where it all started.
Yeah, well, maybe he's taking advantage of this pro-business push.
Yeah, Nvidia downside here, 0.75% right now. Just having a look at Baidu as well. Coming back in a hurry there. We broke back through 92 after making that day high. But Baidu with earnings, another one, 2.5% to the upside here, along with XPeng. What am I trying to say? XPeng. XPEV, I'll be okay. Wow.
We get it. It's actually kind of cool because XPEV, it's an EV name. So I get why they want to do it that way. So what's interesting about XPeng is whatever is happening at 21 1/3, somebody's selling it. So until it gets to that price, like wake me up when it can actually break through here. Like maybe I guess like 21.5 would be the big level above, but you can see the resistance here. Maybe even 22, I think it would need to chew through. It's a good looking, I don't know, like wedge into a flat top, but without a break of that flat top, I don't really see much with XPeng. There's a small gap from 21 to that resistance at the third, so you could maybe play something into there, but I'll probably stay away from this. It would need to gap through that resistance zone to be a little bit more exciting. Unfortunately, some of the earnings names are like more downside plays today, like Target, which I know we'll get into. But yeah, stay away. Well, I shouldn't say stay away, but needs to make that break on the daily chart. Then it gets spicy on XPeng.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about XPeng about 5 minutes ago. I really like that 120 or that 22 level. I think it needs to break that. And we talked about it being up 65% year to date. I mean, what a great stock. But again, Tesla's doubled in the last 52 weeks. All right, I really like this movement here on Nvidia at the end of the day. And I was thinking that it could probably continue. We got actually good news after hours, which really started to spike the stock right there. And then, data stops 4:30, so we'll put it back down here and say, you know what? We don't have to be that bearish today on the market. I am bearish. I'm going to be trying to be short the Nasdaq. That's what's written on here. And I actually want to go see what I actually asked a lot of you guys on Twitter there, what you were thinking about trading today. I have to go have a quick look before I complete this note. But I was thinking 132 on Nvidia just to try to go long something. This is 132 right down into here. So we've only spent there was the morning of the, whatever date this is, the 19th, was the only minute that we've been under there in the last week or so. So we'll wait to see what happens at 132. I mean, that's to me is a very, very easy looking chart to understand. If we break the top, fine. I just don't think that's going to happen today. So what I'd rather do is watch this Nasdaq melt a little bit here, and I don't mean melt, but just drip down a little bit. And then if we can get something around 132, you can always hold it against this 131 gap level right here. So that would be something. The top back on the 13th, and then the bottom on the 19th. So 131 to 132 to me is a level. There we go. A little bit of a dip. We'll do all the things there. I think it's worth taking. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I like that NVIDIA level of 132. Surprised it's not up. Like I thought we'd come in today with at least it being up there. With Elon saying he already has 200,000 GPUs. He's looking to build that 1 million GPU facility in the United States. So AMD, why didn't my chart change to AMD? Okay, AMD. AMD. So that's funny. Actually, this is the first time I looked at AMD today. NVIDIA down 0.75%. NVIDIA, AMD up 0.5%. So maybe potentially I'm looking in the wrong area for the bread to be buttered. Oh yeah, and by the way, you've talked about this before. My take on the bagels and whatnot that are here, they're I feel like they're a little frostbitten. They're not the freshest bagels that we get here right now. Sometimes I see Joe crushing on those.
I don't eat them. I don't eat them.
I mean,
it's mostly the extra. I don't want the extra carbs, anyways.
No, but they're just not the greatest. I mean, they're just not the greatest bagels.
If I'm gonna eat carbs, they're gonna be like really. It's gonna taste good.
Yeah,
I'm strict about that. Yeah.
Joe, put your mic on, man. Is your mic? What's on, brother?
It's on.
What's your?
We're live, man. What's my take on the bagels?
Yeah, I always see you having a bagel.
You know what? It's hit or miss, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think sometimes they're good. Sharif is obviously scratching his head over there. The bagels. He's not a bagel guy. I'm an everything bagel guy.
Me too. Yes.
I'm an everything bagel guy, right? So, I mean, sometimes they're quality. Sometimes they're a little bit on the rough side. But
they're a bit hard. Like that Montreal style.
Soft, man.
I don't know. Adara says microwave them. I've never done that before. I don't know if I'm going to go to that extent. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with the way
I would
they are.
toast a bagel. Microwave, I don't know.
I mean, if I have to microwave a bagel to make it edible, I mean, it's fine. It's a good strategy.
Well, if you got to do what you got.
What do you like on a bagel? I mean, they have cream cheese here. I'm down with cream cheese.
I'm not a cream cheese person.
Oh no, okay.
My favorite bagel is like a cinnamon raisin.
So that's what we have here.
And peanut butter on it.
Oh, peanut butter. Yeah, I like peanut butter.
That's my go-to right there. And like loads of peanut butter on it. How I roll.
We got to keep Joe live here, Andre. I mean, we're doing it live. Oh, okay. Well, forget about you, Joe.
Yeah, apparently.
Joe's still talking about bagels there.
Things to talk about, anyways. But
there you go. What were you saying? You like you don't like jam on the bagel?
So I'm not a jam guy. So I'm not gonna jam a bagel, and nor am I the biggest fan of raisins or blueberries in a bagel. I'm just. Oh my days.
Who's doing that?
Anyway, listen, I'm just an everything bagel guy. I just keep it simple.
Yeah, man.
That's just my style.
He's a simple guy like American
I mean,
Pie.
hold on a second. Is everything bagel simple? I mean, that's a bagel with everything on it.
Well, no.
To me, it's almost opposite of simple. But I got you.
You know what I'm getting at here, though. You know, we just got every form of seed on there. That's why it's called an everything bagel.
I love everything bagel. I mean, I already hit it. Those are my favorite bagels. Okay, thanks, Joe. Thanks for the check-in. Breakfast with Joe. I mean, we're just making new segments every day over here. So, breakfast is, it's not bad.
Yeah. Well, you should take the omelet that they have, and then
I know. Why are we asking a guy? You're right, Chef Joe. Why in the hell am I asking a guy who doesn't even have pie, never even had pie before?
His pastry preferences when he's never had pie.
I know. That's why I asked you. So we have cheese omelets here today, and he puts them in the bagel, is what he's trying to say.
Okay, good. That's what I was sort of getting at. That makes sense.
You know. Are we doing an options minute with Joe or something, or why were you mic'd up? Oh, we are. No one's even told me that. Man.
Well, let's go to Joe then.
Are we, Andre? Andre doesn't even know about this, Joe. Joe trying to take over the morning show, it seems like, over here right now. Automatically has his mic up, assuming it's options day with Joe over there.
He's about to tell you where you should be buying Wolf.
It actually is, right? Yeah, okay. Well then, Joe, kill him with kindness, man.
We're going to get this one rolling. I mean, all this bagel talk has got me hungry, but there's other ways we can eat in this market here, guys. And that, you like that one. There's other ways that we can eat in this market, and that's going to be via options here, folks. Let's talk a little bit about Snowflake there. I mean, we're reporting this evening, and you can see that we're running into some key zones here. So we're going to talk about the expected move and how our straddle and strangle traders can look to take advantage of this, and how we can lock in profits as well too in the after hours with options. All right, so there is some capital requirements, but we'll touch on that here briefly. So we'll just go on over the technicals here, guys. With this expected move, it is going to punch us through these some of these high levels here, these resistance zones. But first, we need to exceed that. All right. So let's focus on what the expected move here is on Snowflake. So we're looking at about a 9.6% move in either direction. That's going to put us at a high of around $200 and a low of 165. All right. So what can this tell us for our straddle and strangle traders? So one thing that I want to note is it's slightly complicated, right? So it's like, Joe, I now have constructed this straddle. I've exceeded this move in the after hours, but I can't really lock in any profits. Well, there's multiple ways that we can do that, all right? So say we purchase our straddle and we get that expected move beaten to the top side. Well, Joe, I can't close any of my contracts. I can't lock in these gains. Well, that's not true. There's an actual way where we can lock in our gains with a straddle, all right? So say we pass that expected move here early after the report, you get that big volatility spike in the underlying. So what you can actually do is, so now we're trading at 205. If you have the capital, so you're already using a leverage product, if you have that capital, what you can do is you can just sell shares, okay? So say you have one contract to the long side, one contract to the downside, and now that the underlying is trading at 205, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I've exceeded that expected move. My options contract is now profitable. So what you can do is you can actually sell shares against that position. And what does that do? That locks in that profit. How does that lock in that profit? It doesn't quite make sense, Joe. Well, here it is. So now that you've had your options contract exceed that move, it's now it has intrinsic and extrinsic value, all right? So it has time value and the underlying has appreciated in price, but now you sell shares against that position. So what happens if that contract continues to, or starts to sell off, what happens is your short shares will lock in those gains and the short shares will start to appreciate in price while your options contract starts to depreciate in price, if that makes sense, okay? So now you're short from the highest point in that value of the underlying, and now your options contract is slowly starting to decay, but when you sell shares against a winning position, the appreciation in the short shares are going to cover what you have now lost in the underlying asset, or sorry, in that underlying contract, all right? So you can see here, guys, if we were to buy the at the money, that's going to be $11 on the call side and approximately $18 on the put side. All right, so that's going to cost you $19 per contract combination. All right, so at $1,900 in real money terms. So when you've exceeded that, you now have more capital because you're using this leverage product. But now if you beat it on both ends, or sorry, on the call side or on the put side, what you can do, we'll use an example on the put side now, is that you can just buy shares. So we go from 180 to 165. We've exceeded that expected move. You want to lock in those gains. What you do is you now purchase shares of Snowflake at those levels, and it also locks in those profits as well too. So when we say there's no way to close or exercise contracts, you can't exercise, but there's no way to close or lock in gains in the after hours, that's not necessarily true. You just need the capital requirements and have the ability to sell and buy in the amount of contracts that you have there, guys. So that's one key lesson and one key aspect, and a rumor that we hear a lot is that you can't close these contracts in the after hours. That's not necessarily true. There's other ways you can lock in those gains, and that's going to be buying and selling shares when those contracts and that system has exceeded the expected move there, guys.
Great stuff from Joe. Always want to have your options available to you, regardless of what play you might make there. There was a question in the chat. Jose Coronado was asking if you short a stock and it goes to zero, maximum gains is what you get, because you don't have to buy it back.
Yeah, you don't go back. The guy's like, he still loses. You don't lose.
No, you don't lose. It's like a maximum win. I think the thing look, so the context of this, and let's not bury the lead here. I'm still on AMD, but the context of this is Wolf is apparently going to Chapter 11. So can it go down further? Sure, it could go further. Could it bounce from here? We've seen it before on trades. But if you happen to be short and it goes dead, then you have maximum win. I can't recall a scenario where that happened. Usually, you'll see like it get delisted, go to the OTC. People can still cover there. It'll trade for a little bit and until it goes under. But at the same time, you never want to make assumptions on how it's going to trade today. Like, I'm not sitting here telling you everyone go out there and buy Wolf, because I don't actually think you should. But oftentimes, you're down 62% in a situation like this. We've seen like these little relief rallies. They can be really good fades if they go too far. And a lot of times, like, I pay for locates in case that does happen. But it's holding on to like a dollar level. Like, there might be an SSR bounce playing here. Like, there might be a spot at $1, maybe, who knows, where you could risk 1 or 2 cents to make 20. Like, I've seen that before on one of these types of things. I just think it's a trade. And I want to see it do like mean reversions of what I'm going to look for on this stock for sure today for Wolf. But anybody that's short this, you're not losing. Like, if you were short this at any point previously, it's very difficult for you to lose, because is it going to go back to $3? No. So even if you had it from yesterday, whether or not they end up on the OTC next week or gone next week or tomorrow, that's anybody's guess. But you're not going to lose if it goes to zero and you're short.
Thanks, Joe, for, again, that's just more. If you're just joining us for the first time, talking about, we'll be trading futures, we'll be trading small cap names, we'll be trading large cap names, we'll be doing it all on the midday show. More talk about options, more talk about some of the runners. We have guests on from OTC Market to talk about some of the actions that happen when a stock gets delisted back down in there. So, great guests all the time on the show. We had Mitch yesterday from Trade the Pool. We continue to have Raider Trader. We have Brian Shannon. Many great. Michael Noss, of course, is here the most. Raheem. Like, it's a great area and space to learn safely. Like, you can ask us any questions. Our chat is absolutely on fire. A lot of smart traders in there. They understand the content and sort of how we roll around here. So if you're just joining us for the first time, thank you so much. Make sure you do like and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, then you can get here into the trade and into our chat. And what's up, None? Thank you so much. Yesterday, see, here's another example. I haven't traded UNH my whole life pretty much. Yesterday, your trade on UNH was fantastic. Is it on my trade to watch today? Yes, it is. It's number one again. And this time yesterday, it was a long 315. We wound up taking $9 on the top side of that UNH trade, long 315, out 324s, closing the day around 322.50. Today, we're going to go short UNH, and it's on the watch list on the sticky note. So go find it at Trader TV, Sean. Sign up for our watch list right there, right now. And let's go over to Sharif, and I believe it's futures time.
It is.
960, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES June contract. Trading below that right now. We're trading around 59.21. We're awfully close to that 5,900 point area. So what we're going to do, we're going to use 5,900 as our support level. We'll look to the overnight high, guys, 59.60 as resistance. Let's see if we can break that and get up to 6,000.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description in this video. Top link will get you to the sign-up page for the watch list. It's absolutely free, comes right to your inbox every single morning, has everything that is moving around in the pre-market and why, also any economic announcements for the day, things you need to know in the pre-market daily. Let's talk about Tesla here to kick things off. Spicy interview, to say the least, yesterday afternoon, and then we got a second round after the close yesterday on CNBC from Elon. He full out just said, you know, it's coming in the cyber cabs are coming in June in Austin, and there's going to be hundreds of thousands of them.
Yeah, no surprise to us. Remember, we reported on that there were all over X videos of these Model Ys driving around Austin, so not a shock there. So here's the deal. Elon Musk, as Brendo mentioned, confirmed Tesla will debut its robo-taxi fleet in Austin, Texas by the end of June. They're going to start with 10 vehicles, Brendo. Then they're going to expand to thousands if the trial goes smoothly. The fleet will consist of the Model Y vehicles running the new FSD called FSD unsupervised. Tesla will geofence initially the robo-taxi operations to designated areas in Austin. Unlike rivals, no human safety driver will be present. Monitoring will occur remotely. That's an interesting take there. Unlike Waymo, which operates paid rides with LiDAR-equipped cars in multiple U.S. cities, Tesla relies solely, guys, on the camera-based systems and their neural nets. Musk claim Tesla's generalized AI approach is more scalable and cost-efficient than the sensor-heavy alternatives. And Tesla's employees, as I mentioned, will supervise robo-taxis remotely, increasing the autonomy of the cars as they build confidence in them. Critics, though, remain skeptical as Tesla is yet to deliver a fully autonomous vehicle despite promises dating back to 2016.
I have an analyst who is not skeptical. Guess who it is?
Danny Ives.
Of course. Calling this a watershed moment, maintaining a bullish stance on Tesla, because of course he is. Of course.
Obviously, Danny Ives knows he's very on brand, right? There's never a bearish sentiment with Dan Ives, which is fair. But Tesla worked out yesterday for a lot of reasons. Like the initial breakup, like it's a 350 break. It was much better better yesterday. My head's in the way there. But like it was a good breakout. It was a good dip buy back into, it was about 348. And then everything, what went loose. But it ended up catching a bit off the prior day high. And then we had this trend up, which I didn't revert it when it did it, but we were long and long and then long, like 3 separate times. You're able to buy the dip. Eventually it gave up that move. What I don't like about it today is how many times are you going to fail this 350 before it just turns into a short if we get up there again? I just feel as if, okay, you've had a couple of good runs. That was a pretty solid break day and a good turnaround as well. I think getting up there looks like a fade today for me. So if we get that press, I'll be like, I'm not taking a 350 break for the third time. I'm actually looking for a fade in that range, like somewhere where you break out and then do a trend reversal. Because looking back on it, it was great going long several times on that trend line, but the break of that trend line was actually a better trade than all of that because it just had worked so fast. So yeah, there was a lot of selling coming in under that 350, it seems.
Oh man, no, I'm organizing like team photo day for our girls rep team right here. All right, so TSLA right here, because all of a sudden like the league messaged us last night that they wanted this Saturday at 9:30 in the morning, which is fine for many people, but not fine for many others.
Most people are busy.
Saturday morning is tough, especially if you're booking it within 4 or 5 days. We have practice on Friday and on Sunday. So it's kind of like we could do it out of practice. But okay, yeah. So look, yesterday Tesla was just like wild, man. We had that 350 break, then we had this long. Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna say we didn't catch this short for sure, but we tried the long again and tried it again and wound up losing. And I think we left it alone only to go back and talk about it in the after show and just as we were sitting here recapping the 3 p.m. trade or so, that this 242, 241 was a great level that held, right? And so I think you're looking there again. It's not on my sticky note today. I have UNH on here. I've got the Qs, Nvidia. I have IBIT with crypto on the list as well. You can go find that at Trader TV, Sean. But yeah, for me, for Tesla today, I think it's going to be stay away a little bit. I mean, it's up against the market, so that sends me a little bit weary about what Tesla's doing. Today, we are going to have, obviously, the imbalances come through as well. But this just looks so choppy to me. We broke 350 a couple times, and each time we didn't hold it. So we broke it right there. We had it there. We had it there. We had it here. So we had it every single time. And I'll probably have it again if it goes. But you know, we have to be very, very careful. That 352 to 354 has been the top for Tesla. So that's something to worry about for me. If anything, I'm thinking lower, but not today. I mean, it looks higher. I like I like the robo-taxi angle. I like the angle that we talked about this with Mitch yesterday. Their cars, you know, although profitable and still doing well and still selling well, that's not going to be their future, according to Elon. They want to work on the robo-taxis, then they want to work on Optimus, they want to get robotics. They really focus on the FSD and the technology behind that, potentially, you know, selling that angle as well. We saw a deal with Rivian and Volkswagen. Tesla still has a lot of opportunities here, and we heard that also Elon's buying all those GPUs. So let's figure out what's going on there. But, you know, the ultimate low isn't around here, between 334 to 335-ish in this area. If we get a dip buy opportunity down there, that would be great. But today it's strong. So I would just say you want to look for longs. And for me, that's 341. So if that holds from yesterday's lows right into here, that'd be great. 341, 342, it's 2 days ago close. So if you like the long, I think you just wait for it. Market's heading a little bit southbound. Look what Tesla does off the morning. You know, huge moves, right, all the time. There's another move up and then straight down and then up again. So, I mean, the morning's been violent for many names, including Palantir and all of that. So, yeah, Google off of a big day yesterday. We talked a little bit about that in the pre here. So let's go over and find the real story about Google and what the trade plan is.
All right, Google I/O yesterday, a ton. It would take the rest of our time here until 9:30 to go through absolutely everything that was discussed and launched. Just a few highlights for you. The glasses look amazing. It was kind of funny though. It was a live presentation, so they were trying to have a conversation, two people having a conversation in two different languages, both translating in real time to English, and it kind of failed. Okay, like it blew up in their face, but it was still it was a good attempt, and they even said it was a tough ask in that environment. But I mean, so many things. You can feed it a picture of yourself, and then jump on any store you want to go shopping for clothes, and it will, with their AI, just show what you will look like with that shirt or pants or whatever that you're looking to buy. It's crazy what's
and these are the practical use cases that we can use AI for on a day-to-day basis. I'd love to see Apple get on that bandwagon, Brendo, because clearly Google's doing the right thing. I'm going to take the Google AI Ultra, that $250 premium subscription, $249.99 to be exact. That's offering exclusive access to Google's latest AI tools and experimental features. It's targeting early adopters and power users looking for trailblazing AI capabilities beyond, you know, the standard offerings that they have. Here are some key features. You're going to get Gemini 2.5 with the deep think mode for that reasoning task. Excuse me. You also get 30 terabytes of storage, and you also get early access to their Project Mariner, which is a multitasking AI agent. Yet another look at agentic AI. Veo 3, which is their video generation. You were saying good stuff about that, Brendo. Notebook LM. I'll get to that on the midday show. You get Flow, which is an AI assistant in filmmaking, and YouTube Premium. A lot of people love that, myself included. The strategic implications here are they're aiming to monetize Google's R&D heavy AI division, and they're looking to diversify their revenue beyond just ad growth, which is slowing as a result of less searches. It's also a direct response to the growing threat from OpenAI, Anthropic, and other emerging AI search tools.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that I thought the way they did it was really interesting with search itself. In the US, you have this, I think, already, but not here in Canada yet. If you just go to google.com, there'll be an option to use the AI search tool instead of the traditional search tool. So they're leaving it up to how you want to actually interact with search going forward, because that gives them the option to then track traffic and who's using what, and then just gradually move towards it.
And we just talked about declining revenue in search, Brandon, but we also talked about the fact that there's no ads whatsoever in any of these LLMs. And the targeting you're going to be able to get for ads, because you just know so much about the person and so much about what they're asking, it's going to be better targeted ads. You just have to assume that.
Yeah, I mean, if you have I think it was like 3.5 hours total, but worth having a look over the weekend for that I/O presentation yesterday.
Or you can have it summarized by AI. That's the other thing you can do. If you don't,
See, that's what I'm saying. Going back to the lazy
I
thing.
think 3.5 hours of just.
Dude, I couldn't even watch 20 minutes of it, but
Look, at the end of the day, I did watch some of it. I watched them. I think I watched more than 20 minutes. Well, it's easy to put something up while we're sitting at the desk. So in the afternoon or at lunchtime, we did, and tried to listen to as much as possible. That said, the price action's king, and you're still like check the top of the channel. It went right into the top of the channel. Let's go daily chart first. Should always do that. Went right into the top of the channel. Resistance is just underneath 170 on Google. That got respected. It dropped like an absolute rock. I mean, everything did, but so did Alphabet. And then you had a lower high in here at 166. So I think continuation means 166 would be the first look, and then the second look would be up here. I think you'd start looking for the short as you get into 168, thinking that you can't get to 170. So I got two levels I'm looking to fade on Alphabet. They sold the news. Look for maybe a day continuation here and let it settle down. The range has been respected pretty much the entirety of the last trading week.
yeah, I mean, I think Google's a short again today. I mean, you're kind of. It's nice that we're up today. It looks like we're up. But, I mean, this big, huge fall down, we're just trying to make a little bit of that back, which we did. We got up to 166 and then failed that. And then as they started at 1 o'clock and, it just kind of faded. I'm not even sure really why they're up right now. I punched this 163 short yesterday. That's like how negative, and then I lost, everything when it went back to the upside there into 164. But we had said that yesterday that, if this 165.50, my mistake, right there, that would be a level to look at for the short. But hard to stand in the way. Like, this is what happened, I guess, when they announced the pricing, or I'm not even sure what happened, what that move was there, but there it is right there, because that seems early in the presentation. That was 1:30. The presentation started at 1. But right there, 165.70 or so, to me, is an area to look at for short. And then, honestly, that only got us to 162.50. So whether or not this move, completely craters the stock or not, I'm not sure. But, look, in case everyone was wondering, there's a lot of cool stuff coming AI related. There's a lot of businesses doing all of this stuff. Yeah. It's going to be very expensive. Most people can't afford this stuff. So, think about that. I'm a Google shareholder. I'm an Nvidia shareholder. All of my money is wrapped up basically in Mag 7, and this is how I'm talking. But, I mean, the stock will act the way it wants to act. Google showed you the top. It's been 210. It hasn't really even got above 170. It can't do that right now. I mean, this stock has been struggling now for 2-3 months, like right into here, this little level. And again, obviously we have the tariff thing, but like this goes back to February right here. And Google hasn't been able to get going since February. So the fact that they announced some bells and whistles to sort of pull the wool over your eyes, that's great. But I don't think it solves anything for Google. This is a long-term play. I think you can get, a good return on this, but I do think the Nasdaq outperforms Google moving forward in the next little while. So I prefer the Nasdaq more than Google. Not today. Nasdaq down 1% and Google's still positive, but that's my take on it. So we'll see what winds up happening. Short 163 is going to be in the cards for me on Google.
All right, let's talk about PanW pushing 6% at this point. There's been barely a bounce here so far this morning. This is a little concerning. The CEO warning that traditional IT can't handle AI's next phase. That's coming from a cybersecurity company. That's kind of concerning.
He's selling you fear, Brendo, so you sign up for his
ASAP.
there. All right, here's the deal, guys. They did quite good on earnings, but they didn't guide high enough, so we know what happens when they don't do that. Let's talk about how they did on the quarter. Revenue, $2.29 billion. That beat the street's expectations marginally, though, of $2.28 billion. Adjusted EPS came in at 80 pennies. The street was looking for 77. Next-gen security ARR, annual recurring revenue, $5.09 billion, up 34% year over year, and slightly ahead of expectations. But this is where they missed. RPO only came in at 13.5. The street was looking for 13.54, so a bit of a blip there. So why did the shares drop? Well, 4% now more after hours, because no raise in the full year guidance for RPO or next-gen ARR, and tech stocks with high valuations often need that beat and raise to move higher post-earnings. That didn't happen here, hence the result. Now, what are they guiding? Because the market's forward-looking. Revenue, 2.49 to 2.51 for Q4 of 2025. That's in line, likewise, with EPS, 87 to 89 pennies. That's at the midpoint of 87. RPO, 15.2 to 15.3 billion, again, in line with expectations. And next-gen ARR, 5.52 to 5.57. Again, the street was looking for 5.55, so that's in line there. Now, the key themes here with what they're doing, platformization, that has been their big push. Platformization is to get you to sign up for all the different cybersecurity elements all in one, so you don't diversify with other companies. That's been their push for the last year, and they added 90 new platform clients in 2023, up to a total of about 1,250. They can continue to see good customer growth, Brendo, in that 5 million and up next-gen ARR, with 44 customers now being over 10 million in next-gen ARR. So a mixed report.
Yeah, a lot to digest.
Yes.
End of the day, market not liking this at all. We just surpassed 6% there, guys. But coming into some decent levels here for PanW.
It is. With the 50 period, I guess, will be in play today. It's like at 179. Usually on earnings, it's like let it drop, let it settle, and then once it does, usually ends up a pretty good buying opportunity. So for today, like I don't anticipate trading it, but if it goes down 10%, then it gets to this, then it has at least a chance, I think, to maybe test 170. Like down here, prior resistance would be like 174, and then you've got the 50 period. The thing about the 50 period, it's more of like a closing price. It matters if it closes above and below. It's not necessarily significantly a level, but 174 is on PanW. I just don't know that you trade all the way down there, and just on a higher time frame on the weekly chart, this thing could be trading at $150, and that would still be like look at the consolidation off the top. The big drop that you go all the way back to on a weekly chart, you go all the way back to the beginning of last year, and we lost like 195 right into 130, and then right back to the highs, and that's been the top of the channel. So you're perfectly fine if this thing holds on to that mid 170s range. I think you let it drift back down in before thinking buy.
All right. Yeah, I was just looking over. Thank you to Diane and everybody there on the chat. Or on the sticky note talk right there. So yeah, look, I have the sticky note here. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and go to UNH because it's not on the list. I'm not really sure. This is a name here that yesterday we had the long 315. Today we're looking short. Thing is, man, I wrote this down, and shout out to Diane. This is what I just got to right here. She got this from Grok, talking about why I might think UNH is lower here. The Guardian investigation published yesterday or whatever, or today, revealing United Health secret bonuses tied to nursing homes for reduced hospital transfers, ethical concerns, obviously, as the way they operate their business. So we're right here on UNH, 315 short to 317. So we're going to be there as well as IBIT. You can go find it. But again, you know, I'm writing this down, 8 o'clock, as we're getting ready to go here, trying to figure out some levels. Well, since we wrote down the UNH short, it went from 312 down to 302. So it already lost $10 since we wrote that note. But for me, into 315, right into there. We went long here yesterday. What a great trade. I'm not sure how exactly we had that position. We were just looking at the close from the day before. Then we had some good news yesterday. So it gapped higher. I said it's probably not worth a bid, but it did come in and it got crushed a little bit. And we weren't even able to take out yesterday's pre-market high on the battle back. And then now today, more negativity for UNH. So this stock is cooked for a while, and it looks like it wants to bounce off 300. So we'll watch for UNH today, but I am sitting here at 315. All right, we're getting on in time, man. We already talked about XPeng. I like the $22 level. Let's go hear the good news from the man in the green, Sharif.
Overall for XPeng, just real quick, if you go out to, or both, if you go out to a daily chart here, we're right bumping up against significant resistance here this morning, but nice beat for XPeng.
Yeah, I'll talk about this quickly, Brendo. Net loss down 52% year over year. Revenue up 100% year over year. Gross margins here about 15.6. Vehicle margins 10.5. And deliveries, guys, they delivered almost 130,000 vehicles year to date. That's 4 times what we had last year. They're looking on closing in on break-even status, supported by volume-led margin expansion, as well as other great efficiencies there. And the outlook, their forecasts are guiding about 102 to 108,000 units for Q2 of 2025, with a revenue of 17.5 billion to 18.7 billion yuan.
Just real quick on Bitcoin as well. There's no significant news, but this was out late yesterday. 500,000 by 2028, according to Standard Chartered. ETFs bought 667 million worth on Monday this week. So this slow march higher continuing here for Bitcoin as well.
Yeah, 108 we got to overnight, essentially. So it's fantastic for BTC. If you're a hodler, you're just absolutely chilling right now. So I love it. It's up 40. It's like a 40% move on Bitcoin since it bounced off the support that we all loved. And Wolf, but just by the way, we have some imbalances out here. Wolf is a big sell imbalance of like 1.8 million. It's the only one that's standing out outside of QBTS. So D-Wave with a 700,000 buy imbalance. That stock it's actually been selling despite gapping up. It was double digits at one point despite gapping up. Look, the trend has been pretty solid on IBIT almost every single day, but you've been getting, it's like dip and rip, dip, okay. We're already gapped down, rip, dip, rip, like you dip and rip. So I don't think you get away from it. We're along multiple times, including, unfortunately, one that we took out too early in the afternoon off volume weighted average price. So I want to keep with the same plan. Looking for that initial dip. We liked it back into the 60 area yesterday where it held. Now I'm just thinking prior highs. So that same 60 area and about 50, 70 are the places I'm looking. Once you get into that pocket, I'm going to go for the trend on IBIT. And remember, when you get, like, if you get the initial trade at the bottom, it still gave you like solid support in here at 59.4, even if you had it at the bottom. Multiple entries you can get in there. Then it gave you like another triple bottom in here later on in the day and then a trend break up. Then it gave you a VWAP dip. Like, there are all these great little spots to get in long once it establishes the upward trend. So you never want to let it off the hook when it's IBIT. Like, you can get 5-6 trades in on this stock, and a lot of them very, very clean. Like, that's what led to positivity yesterday.
Okay, people asking in the chat, they don't see the sticky note. That's because Bears vs. Bulls normally post it, so I'll just post it right there in the chat. You can go find it if you are interested. Look, I have IBIT written on here today as well, so there it is right there, down into $60. If we get that bid, we're going to take it. It's where the 200 period moving average is right here, so we'll find it down at $60. Hopefully we're able to get a little bit of a dip into that name, especially if it reacts to the market right now, as the market's pushing a lot lower, like, you know, it's been heading lower, and maybe take out that bottom right there. So maybe Bitcoin will react to that. Neil's already gone over this, but yeah, just QBTS. What a move again, up to $17 there. Was up 9%. Okay, now only up 5. This is starting to fall down. I think the you know, today we could see a drop. Come on, Mara, load up. All right, it's moving upside there. We could see a drop in some of these bigger sort of short float names, like a QBTS, like a Rigetti, things like that, just in cooling down. But I'm not 100% sure, but I really do like that IBIT level there. And then I just added Wolf because I didn't really see it this morning, other than the volume is only 10 million. I mean, it should be a little bit more than that. This is going to break $1. So when it does, you just punch the short. But the problem is it's going to be SSR. So I just wrote down on the sticky note, you know, basically that you're going to try to get short here, Wolf Speed, and any price wouldn't be that bad, especially near that $1 mark. I think when it breaks it, you're going to get 87 cents probably, maybe even lower than that. So you grab your 10 or 15%.
It'll be liquid.
lower than that once it breaks $1. So just be careful with that one. I don't like the long, but if it's going to go long, it's going to be at $1. So we'll have to wait to see if there's any size down there once we get into that level. So, yeah. All right, that's what we're doing right now. We'll figure this all out. Yeah, Wolf Speed, different things moving around right now. All right. Oh no, my internet's not working at my house. Oh no, that's not good. Oh no. Okay. All right, let's go, man. Only 15 seconds left. Adara over at the bell.
Let's get it. It is, oh yeah, it's a hump day, obviously, today. So let's get this bell rung here. Oh, QBTS heading to the downside. We want to see a 16.5 level for reversion. Let's bring it in 2 and 1, everybody. And there we go. It's all good. Market's open. Initial move slightly higher on the Nasdaq. I'd say very tepidly, although I just saw Google make a little bit of a run, Alphabet there. So here's QBTA, so I was mentioning. Look, if we pull back in, I just want to play it where we had it in the morning yesterday on that dip. If it plays back into the 16 quarter to 16 half zone, then we're very interested there. Alphabet, which we like to the south side today, is obviously a Nasdaq stock, right? Goes instantly down. And trying to bounce here. So the chance to get it off of that afternoon resistance level would have to make some kind of a jump. We need some strength to come in here to get that one to the south side. Tesla's headed lower as well. So yeah, no test up. Forget about like 47. It's not even testing 350. Instantly down on Tesla. So I guess we're not going to be getting anything too early. But chip stocks, however, yeah, different story. AMD strong. I see that one heading to the upside. Yeah, when you want to dip and rip, and fade pops, and neither, like the things you want to dip and rip aren't going down, and the things you want to fade the pops on aren't going up. That just means you got to be patient.
Yeah, I mean, here goes Nvidia. I mean, talk about being patient a little bit here. Nvidia with the long today, we weren't that patient with it. We were actually going to wait. We have it written down here, 132 for Nvidia. It looks like it wants to take out this level. I think we'll punch long Nvidia on the break of 134. I mean, I think that's going to be, a decent opportunity to get a little longer on this name, just in case it wants to work. We could have a banger there today, basically against 130. We'll go long against 133.50 or so, which is kind of where VWAP there. Oops, it didn't break, and I punched long there. I actually had my trigger finger on there, and I should have just maybe not hit it right there. We'll offer out right now and get some out there because it didn't really break. So we'll take a 94 out, and now we'll wait to see if it does break. We're going to give Nvidia back to 133.50 if we're going to be wrong. There it goes. All right, now it's starting to go. So maybe now, nope, it false broke again. All right, let's just dip by this. Again, I'm trying not to be in this thing too early. Hi, it's me. I'm in at 9:31. Yeah, we'll wait to see if we do get a 75 fill or something like that on Nvidia. It's just dancing with this level right now. Hopefully it'll be a big trade for us, but there it is, man. We're long. I got some out very, very quickly there. The market's trying to go upside. Let's see if Nvidia wants to do it. 133.50 and we're out, and we'll just hang those up. So we'll see what happens there on Nvidia. I might also put that in 133.48 breakdown. We're out. So we're going to try that. Google's ripping, man.
No, everything is sort of Google's $1 away from target. I'm trying to get into advanced micro devices here. AMD, just like it a little bit more for the strength, but it's starting to pull. Here comes a pullback in AMD, back into like 114 in front of VWAP. I want to see if I can pick up something in the 114 area as we are going to Adara. Oh, I forgot to go to Edible.
Is keep an eye here in BIDU. This was another earnings game. We had quite a few earnings tickers today. They did have a double beat, EPS beat, and sales beat. So between this and XPeng, which is nice start to the day, lots of the strength in these Chinese ADR earnings plays. Back to you.
Chinese ADR earnings plays, you say, huh? Okay. Yeah, we saw that with XPeng and some of that action going on over there as well. We are longer now on Nvidia. Let's wait to see. We're 20 cents away now from getting our first stop out on the day, which will not be great. But we're going to wait to see what winds up happening now with Nvidia. We're long 133.90. We did wind up getting that dip buy.
Yeah, I got the dip buy in AMD. I meant to mention this before we got to the open. We kind of got on in time. Edible took it on the chin. Despite being a big gap up, it's also like it just faded the $5 level as well. So this is really stair-stepping it to the downside. Anybody that happens to be in it, I hate these things underneath the volume weighted average price. I think you're going to want to have to let it settle down. The gap fill isn't until $4 on Edible. the company's name is edible. We're not just calling it that because EDBL. At least I hope that's not true. Hope it's true. So we're trying to hold on to the volume-weighted average price here in AMD. Meanwhile, Google is screaming to the upside. So 166 is incoming. This is the level I wanted to wait for. So don't want to take it on the front end. I'm looking for the back end of the trade. Like show me a topping tail candle, show me some weakness in the 166, and we'll get into the short. But I'm not in it yet. We're only in AMD. I got 21s above the 114. If we lose the pre-market low, I'm out of this for sure. I think we want to be heading to that 115 area that we got into the aftermarket yesterday. So yeah, I think we're going to be in Google pretty soon with this south side trade as the market testing the highs. Adara?
Keep an eye here on Palo Alto Networks, PANW. We talked about this one earlier. This is almost giving up that $180 level right now, finding some support. But despite an earnings beat and sales beat, decent guidance, and a guidance raise for fiscal 2025, PANW not having a great start to the day, guys. Right now, we're actually just breaking below 180. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, so we'll have to slap a fail. We were able to get something out on the top end of Nvidia, but the market didn't hold. Our best outs there were 12s. So fail on the first play there for Nvidia. But it's just pulling back. Maybe now it wants to go. That VWAP is still at 50. So let's just try it maybe one more time right here, 133.39. I know I'm getting, we don't really want to be like this stubborn with any of these plays. That is for sure. Oh, actually, I didn't punch into that many shares there. Okay. All right. So we didn't get as many as I hoped for there. We got missed actually on the punch in there. We didn't get as many. We'll average in to this trade with our stop side down there near 133, like I just said, 40. So yeah, let's see what wants to happen here with NVDA. Maybe a nice little backside play
Google
right now for this name. Let's go see what it's doing. Google ripping, right? 160.
Well, it was ripping, and now it might have just curled. Anyways, might have just curled. I just canceled an 80 order on Alphabet. There was a nice wick in here to that high, and then pulled back into VWAP. So it's going back up again, but that pullback into VWAP has already happened. And it happened here at 165.5 and not at 166. So I might have missed the spot for that short reversion play. I just want to quickly go back over to QBTS for everybody. If you happen to be watching this quant stock, it just made the play back into prior support, so it's filled in that gap. This is the first shot that I want to take here in QBTS, if it can hold on to these lows here at about 16.3. Adara.
BILI on watch. Bilibili is a Chinese ADR, so potential sympathy here with XPeng and Baidu, but it does have a bit of a catalyst on its own. For one, it's day 2 earnings they reported yesterday morning. Second year, they actually got a price target increase and an upgrade from HSBC with a buy rating. Also announcing here, they're offering a $500 million in aggregate principal amount of convertible senior notes. So convertible senior note offering, upgrade, and day 2 earnings. Great look here for BILI to start the day. Just to let you guys know, we don't have any economic data at 9:45 or 10 a.m., so nothing to worry about there. Back to you.
Yeah, there's some Fed speakers coming through today. Okay, let's check out UNH right now. We're just in Nvidia we got a little bit out there in the 60 here. We can, because we're in it, we can talk about it a little bit. But just thought that we would try this play down here. It's not going to go again, man. The futures don't want to bring this thing higher. We've seen Nvidia go on these runs before, so I'm trying to wait to see if it's going to go on it. We're only long at 59. We got some out there at 65s. I think, or 65 or 60, some 65, some 68s there, but not really doing anything. I'm just trying to get 1-to-1 to get out of a little bit of this and then let it run in case we are right and Nvidia does want to get going. But I don't know about that one. So I just want to talk about it because we were in it and I don't want to ignore it. Okay, it just came back up to 68 there.
The market is
it's not
at the highs.
Nasdaq it's not blasting or anything. All right, so right into there, into 308 goes UNH. Right there. So that was the 200 period moving average. We could short that. I wanted to wait to see if we did get an early pop on UNH, but it doesn't look like it was a nice pop, but it was from 300, basically 300 bottoms interesting. That's an interesting level. Up there to 308. So watch out for that move. Okay, here we go. Finally.
Now we're bouncing.
Now we're trying to get into the 70s now. It's funny that you're long AMD and I'm long Nvidia here as we don't mix it up too much.
You know what's going crazy? I just got out of everything.
What?
Yeah. Anyways, QBTS. Okay. I didn't get the ad down there, and it just tagged the 17 level. But before I get to AMD, it is the S to the M to the C to the I, which is going. Like it's breaking the highs. Don't get me wrong. The market's going up, so the longs are working. But AMD is trying to get that $0.50. SMCI just went the full dollar off of the open into resistance from yesterday. So if you're in this one long, it just put the entire range of yesterday essentially, because at the open this was breaking down 44. That's a day's worth of range from the pre-market. So good look for SMCI. Unfortunately, not in that one. In AMD, which is now trying to get up to that 15 level. So it looks like it's a little bit better, but that 115, check that, 115 quarter, that's where you would have seen the top in the aftermarket show with Sean and Adara. I want to respect that level bigly, as Sharif likes to say it.
Yeah, we had some Sharif quotes today. We had the boom today.
Only because I don't actually
Where
know
does bigly come from?
No one says that.
Oh, Donald says that. Oh, we didn't even know that. Okay.
That's a Donald thing?
Yeah, we didn't know that. Sharif is got the Donaldisms going right there. Yes, bless you, Neil. Don't be rude on that one. Okay, so here we go. Let's go, Nvidia, man. We're waiting at 86s. We just got taken out right there. That's it. Now let's go. Let's fly high right here as we're back to flat now on Nvidia after taking a little bit out. Let's just check our notes here. All right, so IBIT's not going to be doing anything. We still do have Bitcoin at 106.8, so not much going on there. We did have a drip into 60.50, but not a level interesting enough for me. Nvidia's already on the list. TQQ was on the list for a short, but I was trying to short like yesterday's kind of closing areas up here. So if we can get up to there, yippee, because then that means Nvidia will be working out for us. And there it is, man. It's a good thing we took some out there on the top. Our best outs now on Nvidia, 86s. You saw me take those, but here it comes falling right back in again. I don't feel like these chip names are the hottest names in town yet today. They seem to be struggling a little bit, so maybe we got to back away from that.
EDBL's halted.
Oh, Edible's halted again?
Up.
Look at Google. Wow. EDBL. Edible Garden right there. Sharif was trading this yesterday and had some fun times jokes about it for his birthday right there. So we'll find out if there's any edibles going on there. But of course, when we're talking about edibles for his birthday, we're talking about like fruits and veggies.
Exactly.
And things like that. Maybe with a little bit of hummus on the side right there. Some crudité. Adara, what's up?
Crudité?
Hello, Donald Trump. We just had mention there of SMCI. Neil talking about how strong that was. There actually is a catalyst on this too. So this interview is from Monday, but we did have Benzinga posting about this interview just 10 minutes before the open, so maybe got some eyes on this. Basically what happened here was SMCI CEO Charles Liang saying in this interview with the Wall Street Journal that they're looking to expand into Texas and Mississippi with regards to AI server growth due to some increases in spending for AI for companies like Microsoft and Amazon. So SMCI looking to do a bit of an expansion. Again, this interview happened on Monday, but Benzinga did pop this up. This story is actually posted on Benzinga as of 10, 20 minutes ago. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. So the bounce on D-Wave goes right into 17. It did break 17 and got to 17.25, but it's already looking like it wants to head back into the downside. So I'm out of it for now. I want to see some stair step to the upside. Like make some higher lows. Like right now you're bleeding. Get above VWAP. Do something a little bit more positive. The market is breaking out the highs as far as I'm concerned. So we're on our way to 115, I think, on AMD. I'm going to see if we can't get back. If it pulls back into 114, I do want to reload in that name. Oh, and Wolf. That was the only. All right, so we're cruising. But I want to be out on any failure at 115 on AMD, just to be clear. Wolf is now halted for the second time. So there was a halt down.
Go Nvidia.
And then a reopen. It lost $1. It's now halted up at exactly $1.
How low did it go? I said 87.
No, but it halted into the $1 level.
No, but once it broke, didn't it break it?
If you took the reopen, it went to 90. It went 99 at the $1 open and to 90 and now it's halted up.
Yeah.
This is gonna halt like every 10 cents or so. So be very careful trading it.
Holy shit!
It doesn't take anything for this thing to halt, everybody.
There goes Nvidia. This is a big trade right now for us on this one as it's starting to get upside right now. There goes Nvidia, man. Finally, it looks like we may have got one, but let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Nvidia right now, Rip City. We just got a nice out there in the 20s. Let's see if we can get to 135 and beyond, Adara.
Keep it LAES. This is Seals Q. If you're a small cap trader, you're very likely familiar with this ticker. This morning, they announced here they're unveiling their quantum-resistant cryptography to secure Bitcoin wallets against quantum threat. So this press release is involving both quantum and Bitcoin. Great look for the stock. LAES also has about a 7% short float. Also, just as I was waiting here, Shopify popped up in the headlines. So we're going to talk about this as well. Shopify, not a lot of volume here. New Nasdaq 100 entrant, basically announcing that they're launching an AI store builder to allow merchants to set up online stores by entering descriptive keywords. Not much movement here at all on SHOP, but keep an eye on it. Back to you.
I got to give a big thanks to Ari Pages there in the chat, because I had mentioned that our internet was down at our house, and my wife is here scrambling. And then, yeah, Bell Fiber is down right now. So yeah, thank you for that, Ari Pages there. I'm with TELUS, but they use the same lines.
Yeah, same.
So wow, that internet has been so good for us, man. That Bell Fiber has been crazy.
It's good. No, it's look.
Like I'm paying $70 a month.
You can't throw shade. It's fantastic.
It's unlimited everything, and I've got my phone is unlimited U.S., Mexico, Canada, all the data, all that, $40 a month.
The Bell's great.
We used to be, yeah, mine's with TELUS, but Bell's also great. Bell's trying to get me the same deal, but I just don't want to switch.
Outside of my Crave issue, but that's
there used to be, I think that's just a software issue. But I think that we used to always complain, especially Sharif over here, about some of the cell phone plans. But right now they are really hot fire. I don't know. Maybe that's why they're losing all this money. Right there, but
you have Bitcoin up.
Okay, yeah, Bitcoin 107.
It just broke sevens.
Yeah, it just broke sevens. It's not going too crazy.
I want to be long before 108. That's the problem.
I just realized my e-signal thing is not updating, so I have to reset this because I'm not getting any scanners right here. Ozan,
mine's popping off. I'll tell you what's popping off on my scanner. Yeah. It's like Rigetti, Hood, a Wolf is going to halt every few seconds, so it's going to be out there. But the SPY, Apple, AMD, like all the big names, but all the ones that you wouldn't suspect, like all the big caps, it's QBTS, it's IBIT, TSLL is going to be in there as well. So the scanner's working for me, but part of the plan was to be long in IBIT. It just hasn't dipped yet. There's not a red candle yet on IBIT. Super strength, obviously, in the market. Well, strength in the market. I shouldn't say super strength when we're down 0.4%, but IBIT just went green. That doesn't matter because it's a 24-hour market. I'll look for VWAP in here. Next available dip, I want to try to catch some kind of a mean reversion curl on IBIT, just so we can get involved. We've only been in two things. AMD's cruising, but I still think 115 is a target, and IBIT we're out of. That's about it. Tesla's doing nothing, by the way. Tesla is a complete nothing burger inside the range. No breaks down, no breaks up, really. So I think you sit out Tesla until it does something. You poke, just poke it until it moves.
Yeah, I was gonna say no surprise there, man. We didn't even have. This is the first time in a while. I talked about trading Tesla every day. I don't even have it on the list today. But look what just happened to Google. I need Nvidia to have whatever the hell Google's having today for breakfast, because Google right now, monster move up, like huge, 163 to 167.50. I mean, this name is cooking right now, man. As the kids like to say, we cooking, Dad. 169.50 right here again. Like if we could break through that, I mean, the real break would be, I guess, you just wait for the 170. But wow, what a nice move for Google. We've seen this before. This is why I'm not super. I mean, look, I've gotten out of some. We've put the money back to work somewhere else. But right now, Google really working here and saying, I'll take the market on my back. And that's what they're doing. Google right now working it out off that Google I/O. Brendan Shreve talked about all the benefits, and there's a lot of impressive things that Google laid down yesterday. And I guess the market today, shining a light on them. So nice move there for Google. If you're going to look for, whoopsies, what just happened there? What just happened? Okay, if you're going to, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, there you go. Just a crazy zoom.
It does that.
All right, regroup. I was going to say, if you're going to look at something there for Google, maybe this 168 to 168.50 yesterday, where we sort of were at near the top of the presentation, right before the presentation started, was sort of the top of the day. And then this is what happens. Like we saw it was Zuckerberg hitting the podium and everything as well. Google's still working. Come on, Nvidia. Nvidia is screaming now as well. Wolfspeed still halted. The biggest of the bear AI. This is a name that I like, not doing anything today. I said this could be a day for calm down. My charts are a little bit slow today as well. Nice flush in QBTS there off the open. Looking to see if that takes down 1620 right there. Looks like a good level and a bounce off level. All right, Neil. Google, Nvidia really took that personally when I said it needs to have whatever Google's having for breakfast, because there it goes. Oh my, guys. Nvidia right now, the monster right here. Look. we hit our day goal yesterday, gave it back. You hit it again, gave it back. So it doesn't really matter, but there's our day goal right there, hit right there on just this one Nvidia trade. Look, we lost on it early, but boy, oh boy, did we like it late. There goes Nvidia to the high side. Let's just see how far this thing can go. It is Rip City right now on Nvidia as we take out some of those levels. So far, ooh, I don't want this anymore. The TQs just came in. I was sitting there. We got to watch out for this. Short at 25. I'm actually just going to bid it out. I'm going to bid it out for flat right there. I don't care about it right now. We're watching Nvidia and we're watching this market rip. I'm not going to take anything short unless it's UNH. Go Nvidia, man. You're making me smile today. Good trade there on NVDA. Just need to get it going even more. Wow, meta.
Yeah, it's going to get to that top, I think, on NVDA. It's going to do it looks like it's going to do what Amazon or AMD just did. Amazon on the brain, I'll get to it in a second, which is test the high from the aftermarket on that Elon Musk second interview. The first red candle is where we bought the dip back into the prior low. So the second red candle is where I'm going to buy the dip back into VWAP if we get it. I'm now glad that I got out of QBTS. This is going the other direction. Market's breaking out the highs, and it just doesn't look that good on QBTS right now. You're making lower highs. It's going to have to break this trend to the downside and show me like either a crazy parabolic move down that we reverse, or show me a break of the trend right now on QBTS. Like right now, we're able to get away from a couple things to the long side, or get out of a couple things to the long side at good prices, but I don't want to rush back in. If it's not relatively strong, then I don't want to automatically buy that dip. Did not talk about load. Some of the relative weakness. You just saw the market breaking out. You saw Google breaking out, the chip names breaking out. Amazon holding underneath the volume weighted average price. So a little bit of weakness here in Amazon. Just noticing the weakness. It broke out support at the 200 change and bounced exactly off of $200 effectively. So watch out for Amazon here. I'm not saying I'm going to punch a 200 break, but if we're breaking out in the market and the market reverses, Amazon might be a good short underneath that 200 level. Into strength, I'm not worried about doing it now, but if the market reverts and we head back to lows, Amazon is something to watch. Didn't expect to see that at $200 with the strength we have in the market right now.
Let's go Bitcoin. I got to give a big shout out to my guy, Joey Money over there. He'll probably tell you this during his time, but I've been telling him for a while to start getting a little bit more aggressive with his share size because we want to sit here and make money, and he's been having some great calls. And right now, this guy's long IBIT, so congratulations right there for Joey Money over there because finally not finally, I mean, you have to trade your risk and everything like that, and he's comfortable now. So great job there, Joe. Glad to see you on board with Share Gang right now. So we'll go upside right there. Great trade on IBIT. And again, this is what we talk about. Have your trades, have your ideas, and go for it, man. And that's exactly what we've been doing here all the time. We talk about Neil's trading some of these things on the side. I'll look at pink sheets, and I'm trying to do the same kind of thing right now, but on, these bigger cap names. So great movement there. I'll trade a little bit lighter when we're looking at a wolf speed or something like that, but look at that out on the TQs. I mean, I'm pretty happy with sitting there and taking the fill and then punching out because everything changes, right? This is the ability that you have. Like we're still long Nvidia. Nvidia is a banger right now, but you got to be able to change it up when you see something different start to happen in the market, right? Apple yesterday was really a dog. So if I do think this market's going to fade out, I didn't even know what Apple was doing today. Look what it's doing, nothing. So to me, if the market's going to fade, I think we want to look at Apple, but I'm still trying to see about this Nvidia. Nvidia just got to 135. So 135 right there was a level of concern, not concern, but an area that we were looking at, man. We're long at 133.50 right now. It is a nice little dollar club there on Nvidia, but it doesn't mean that's not going to come screaming right back down. So yeah, we'll get another piece out if it gets back up there. So just for those of you interested in share positioning, basically, I have right now about 20% left of this position. A lot of outs right into here, 133, 134.20. So again, take an L early on it. We have to be responsible for our trades. That's the L right there, and then that's me getting back in. So without that L, wow, but what are you going to do, right? It came right back into some of those pre-market levels, and we took the long. And just like Neil had AMD there, we're kind of on the same page with some of that stuff. All right. Other than that, though, it's just kind of looking around right now and seeing what else is available. The market is coming back down. Maybe we're going to be right about the TQQs after all. But it did get to 70.50, and I look over at the note, and let's just look at this together so I'm not surprised by it alone. But here's our note on the TQQs. We wrote down 70.50 short sell. The high of the day is 70.49. So, yeah, maybe we should have taken it after all, but we'll wait to see if it gets going. My whole day right now is on one trade. I've only traded one name, Nvidia. So if that goes, great, but maybe that short was okay on the TQs. I don't know. Nasdaq really got going.
We'll see, but the Nasdaq really got going. But also what got going, look, what Ed of NVDA said, the next red candle, you try to get along. There was one. I didn't get it. I'll get to it in a second, but there wasn't much of a red candle on AMD. It did pull one in on the 3-minute. But Alphabet just checked the 168. I'm not a huge fan of this entry whenever it happens. We get that big of a topping tail candle, and then I end up in a short at the bottom. So I'm not going to give it back to the high. I think what it has to do here is you fail that 168, you should be dropping immediately and trending down so you can get an add and a consolidation. But if it just shoots right back up, there you go. I'm going to get out there at 167.8. Like, ideally, you'd want to be short above 168 in a candle like that, not all the way down. And I'm not going to give that like 70 pennies to let it shoot back up. It's at the level that I want. So let's let it maybe double tap it, put in a double top, something along those lines. It's a better entry plan. I'm not just going to marry myself to it when it's screaming like this and take a bad entry and hold on to it. I did not get AMD. There was a red candle after the 115. I was thinking maybe get back into the volume weighted average price. It dropped about 30 cents into 114.80 and then right back into the highs. So
pages, we talked about that right there. Yeah, there. Now everyone's heaving some issues. There is a bell outage right now, right? So yeah.
Oh shoot.
But we talked about that a little bit. So shout out to that. And we do have redundancies here. But maybe it's with Bell. So,
yeah, for us, the trading is just different from the internet. So
yeah. Trading. That's what I'm saying. Our trading is fine. Yeah. Look at Google, man, up to 168. So it's getting missed it. See, instead of punching, like I could have easily just punched that and got a better price. But right now we'll be suffering with this price. Right now, 167.90. Let's see what's in the cards here for Google. So we're short Google. We're getting some more out on Nvidia right now and short GOOGLE against 168.50 right there. Sorry, not the E part. Without the E there, the B shares.
Yesterday's high.
Yeah, 168. I'm even going against this, man, 168.30.
So look, I'm in the...
Yeah, stream is fine. The stream is fine and our trading is fine, but we are having internet issues. So
yeah,
if there's something wrong with your stream, it might be your problem.
Shout out to eSignal,
Look at
by the
Google,
way. I don't know how my eSignal is working just fine with the internet issues.
Oh, no, mine's not.
Literally, my level 1 is working on eSignal. Like,
yeah, no, it goes in and out. I can see, you don't have the charts up all the time.
But I literally have moving quotes on eSignal.
It's great.
With intermittent internet, that's a bit of a mouthful there. You guys know what I'm getting at. That's still working, so shout out to them. I think we can get a shot at VWAP, but there's a second red candle in Google, just a little bit more. Like I said, you want to price closer to 168. Like the first one is a bad price, so I want a 168 price. I see the position board just went down. It's probably just restarting. So the only thing I'm in right now is the new position in Alphabet. And the stop at the high, I think you play back to the first level, the $0.50, and then the even, and then VWAP. So those are levels that I want to be getting some outs there. I'm going to get some orders out there on Alphabet so that I can move on over to Advanced Money Destroyer, AMD. Advanced Money Doubler at this point. So it's trying to pull back. VWAP sits at 114.5. This is the area that I want to try to pick this one back up. Can we get to VWAP? Can we get that long play? And then IBIT. This is a hefty pullback. The first time we're getting a real pullback in IBIT. We're talking about VWAP, another, that's at 60 and 60.80. We could actually get a shot at this, I think, here on IBIT. So as this pulled back here, I'm looking for the curl. Any bounce, mean reversion trade off VWAP, I'm taking long in IBIT because we didn't get it. This is the first red candle of the day. If it's our only chance, we don't want to miss it. Adara?
This 15-minute candle here on the Nasdaq did get a little bit topping tail at the very end, but we're trying to recover nicely from these lows. S&P 500 looking almost identical here to the NQ. Lots on watch. We did break our green streak yesterday with a bit of a weaker close for the market. Of course, Google having that push into the end of the day to the downside after its I.O. event. So lots of catalysts on watch, and that's going to remain the same today. Here is UNH. UNH, a little bit choppy this morning. Basically, there's a report from The Guardian suggesting that there's some payments or kickbacks here to nursing homes, though United Health has already responded and saying that the DOJ didn't even pursue the matter. They also got a downgrade from HSBC. Then we have Tesla. Elon Musk, CEO of the company, giving not one but two interviews to CNBC. During one of these, he did mention that they're still expecting Tesla robo-taxi to launch in Texas in June. And last but not least, your tons of earnings. Here's Baidu, B-I-D-U, Baidu and XPeng, both Chinese ADRs, looking nicer, at least earlier, off of these earnings. Baidu beating on EPS and sales. Bilibili also to the upside on day 2 earnings and getting an upgrade from HSBC. Also, other earnings names to be aware of here. Palo Alto Networks on the move. So PANW, VFC, TGT. So if you're looking for earnings, you certainly have a lot to play with today. We'll send you back to the guys. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Mine, I'm fine with it so far.
Well, like everyone, I think we're seeming stable. Like I have a stream up, and the stream seems fine now.
Yeah. I don't think it's anything to do with.
I think everything's pretty good, and if you're still having issues, bear with it. We'll try to refresh. But Google, Alphabet, bye. I'll stop to fail on that one. We're 2 for 3, but it's, this is the market.
Bye.
Come to my chart. Can we come to my chart for a second? Oh, that's this. I think it was Sean. Look, this is the market. It's all green. I'm out of my 2 longs, and then the 1 short we had is a loss. So obviously, it's the long play. I keep talking about your availability for dip buys. Well, here comes advanced micro devices. That might be it into VWAP. And simultaneously, I'm trying to get IBIT as well. I thought I was getting... Okay, no, we didn't get anything filled in the 80s on IBIT. I might step up a little bit here. But look how quickly we're bouncing before you even get to the volume weighted average price. That's how heavy, or heavy's the wrong word because that would be going down. That's how strong this market is buying it back up. So I'm going to sit. I usually don't want to just sit and get scooped up out in front, but sometimes I guess that's the way you have to do it because we're bouncing really heavily here to the upside every time we bounce.
Wow, Google.
Google is a monster. It's like the longs are working, but you got to get out. So yesterday we had a discussion about trading or not trading with stops.
Bye.
Well, what happens to you if you don't trade with a stop here in Alphabet? Like it just went $1.20 on that break of the high. Like you're short there at 90. Well, I'm short there at 90 with a top. It's a 40-cent hit, or it's a $1.20 hit if you punch out or you miss your stop. Like that adds up over time, everybody. Like you got to be really careful about that kind of stuff.
It does.
Nobody trades without stops. I just wanted to show one more thing here for you because I don't think this holds.
Some do.
But Tesla is ridiculous right now. The market's breaking out. The algos are just in complete control between
Bye Google again.
343 and 346. I don't know what's going on here except that there's a major battle happening and Tesla doesn't want to move. Whichever way it breaks, I think you want to be involved in Tesla. Ideally, I hope it's to the upside because I think a lot of us own some Tesla shares, but at least for now, this is looking relatively weak. I think compared to the rest of the bucket. Same thing with Amazon. Like Amazon's under VWAP in here. Like why am I sitting there trying to short Alphabet when you've got some weakness out here and certainly Amazon is taking it a bit on the chin. Still can't get that AMD long. Again, I should say. Can't get a second long yet in AMD.
Yeah, no, I try to go back into the short here on Google. I mean, what's up to in the chat? STOJM was like, you guys are playing with fire a little bit with this Google short, and I 100% like, that's to that same talk that Neil was doing there. I'm going to use that same top as that. Just waiting to see if there is going to be a blow off top at some point right now for Google, up 3.5%, really starting to rip higher there. We're going to try it and see if there's anything going on there. Nvidia is just doing its own thing. We've been getting a few more outs, but it is looking a little bit heavy. We will try to get Nvidia down here if it does come back into VWAP or not. But yeah, right now getting our face ripped off by Google. Bless you. Our outs at breaking of 75s right now on Google. So here we go, man. Wow, just to have punched long this name. I guess there's traders like myself that have gotten out of this name that are just trying to get back in right now. And yeah, it is, wow. All right, we just got run there on Google as well. So nice out there as Google takes out the highs again. So slap more fails on there. Another one.
Another one.
And then when will we stop shorting it? It's up to 170 right now, Google. So yeah, watch out for that one, man. Maybe that's your level that you try. But if we're going to try it, it would be a quick out. That is for sure one more time. And I don't think we're going to do it. So let's just keep on doing what we're doing right now, looking for better opportunities. It's not a day trading without looking at yeah, of course, now Google comes right back down in, right? Was that the fade right there, Google, or what? Oh, shit. Oh, man. Damn. Shoot. Damn, shorty.
Shoot.
We said, nah, whatever. That was...
I'm just joking.
Yeah. It's one thing, but like there's a nice move down there on Google. So, wow. We said the short was coming. Like, if I still had this trade, we would have been nicely cooking now, but we do not. So let's wait to see if it gets one more move back up there, and then we'll try it again. But 170, it looks like it just got faded off of. So I think we're right in the space. We're just not right for the timing right now. It looks like it wants to try to get going there, Google. And then there's going to be a little bit of a pushback, especially if the market fades. But we'll try a small short right now. But we are happy that Nvidia is holding out. And then just want to go back to UNH real quick, just to see, because we still have that 315 on our eyes as well. Great trade. Joseph over there. Bitcoin right now, 107.5. Are we going to Adara? Yes, okay. All right, so let's go over to Adara quickly, my bad. Then we'll look at IBIT after that, taking out day's high.
Small cap and watch here. It's going to be GPUS. That is hyperscale data. This might be actually a ticker that you're familiar with if you trade small caps. A couple months ago, this one was running pretty consistently. They did report Q1 earnings. Their earnings per share here actually reporting losses, down significantly from earnings last year. Sales also down on a year-over-year basis, so this is not a great report, but they did reaffirm their full-year revenue guidance. They also have a 1.44 million share float, 19% of which is sold short. So pretty significant short float here for GPUS. Back to you.
Absolutely. And someone asked, why did you get out of QBTS? Well, it was a keystroke, but I didn't want to buy it back up at those highs. Like, got out of all of it instead of just like a piece of it. But it's about to double bottom. So I said it needs to show some relative strength to get back in, which is either a very distinct double bottom or a trend break. There's the pre-market trend, then there's this trend which came in here. I think either one of those goes, and I take a shot in QBTS. So somewhere in this channel, it would have to break the 17 or give it a distinct double bottom. It's relatively weak, man. I don't know what else to say. Like, the market's trending up, it's trending down. You want to be very particular about those bounce plays. Amazon's still doing that same thing. And AMDA.
AMDA?
No, AMD. Just like, look how now there's no green candles into the volume weighted average price. So the initial move up had a quick fade. This one is a little bit more prolonged. So there's that whole catching a falling knife thing. I hate catching the falling knife. Every time you play into VWAP too early, I find if you're not patient with it, you let that run you over, you look back in 5 or 10 minutes, and it's a classic VWAP hold. So I have AMD up. I don't want to sit here and just take a wild swing at it at the volume weighted average price until I see some kind of a setup, consolidation, wick bottom, something on the 3-minute that sets me up. I'm waiting back for our low into the pre-market low. I still think I have my stop still in here at that. Not the pre-market low, but the low from the open range, I should say, just to be more clear. I have that stop still in, so I can still use it or wait for VWAP, and then IBIT we've already gone over as well. Tesla, finally. So like AMD, the chips were strong early. Now this is coming back in. Tesla was doing absolutely nothing before, and now it's starting to break out. I think this is one to get involved in. It wasn't part of the plan, but like you can't coil up like this and not take some kind of a and not be some kind of a breakout play. So I'm going to see if we can't weasel in here. That didn't get the pre-market breakout, but maybe see if we can pick up something into the prior high, give it to the prior bar candle, which would be like 345.5. You could even have 346.5 now that I look at this. If I'm going to give it to 345.5. Prior bar right there would be my stop on an entry into Tesla, finally joining the party. I think it has a lot of room to run.
All that Google opportunity did was give you an opportunity to get long down there at 169, apparently. Not that it was the end of the world there by any stretch of the imagination. And now it's trying to fade back out a little bit. So we do have a decent position here on Nvidia because we do have a couple of reloads. And then we are watching out for this Google trade to hopefully become a Google fade back down. So if that happens, we're going to get some out at 169 again. If it does fall back, yeah, exactly. If it does fall back in, we'll do that. But there's our reload on Nvidia. We talked about getting that reload down here, so we're happy with it. We're still getting out if it breaks this low. So we're going to wait for that right now. The S&P futures and the Nasdaq both trying to go here. Okay, apparently the EU is proposing some kind of a trade deal, so we'll wait to see if that gets anywhere right now. All right, did Wolf Speed open back up yet? 91. Okay, well, I said once it breaks $1, you could probably get 87. So let's see if 87 comes in right now for Wolf Speed, breaking through $1 right there and now getting lower. I mean, there's your dollar, right? You could have had it. I should have had it. Nice 10% move anyways for Wolf Speed. And if you're in this at $1, just bid some out now. Take some out for 9 cents. You know, take your 10% and, you know, don't worry about it, basically, for now. This name could go anywhere. You don't want to get stuck in a nether halt, especially if it's going to be a higher one. That's Wolf Speed right there. Nvidia, IBIT's coming back in a little bit right there, and then UNH. So I don't have anything else on my radar right there. We didn't look at all.
Where's UNH?
I don't know. It was 308, actually. I didn't look at it, so I'll have to look at UNH in a minute. But I want to look at XPEV. This is a name that we covered today, but didn't look at trading it. We had mentioned there that 22 was a pretty key level there. Now we're busted through it. There's 22 right there. So yeah, that looks like a great level. I wonder if anybody punched long there on that breakout level for XPEV. Okay, there it is. Finally, we'll floss it off just a little bit right now. Let's see how low can we go right now. We'll bid some more here at 169.09 for some reason. See if we can get that fill. Our best fill right now is O's. Here it comes right back in. Let's take another fill down here at 01. And now let's see this thing freaking collapse right now, man. We'll go props up. Finally, we got it, man. We knew that this had some bearish tendencies in it up there near 170 because we saw it flush down. So this time we're a little bit more patient and we wait for said trade. Let's see how far down Google wants to go now. As the market pulls back a little bit, so does Nvidia. So that's a look right there. And Neil just asked about UNH. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, so 308 was the last.
It was only because you mentioned it.
Yeah. It's just I didn't know if it was moving again, but 308 to 310, 310 looking hot fire right there. I'm going to throw it back to you just quickly. 133.60 is where my next bid is, right here for Nvidia. Then we're using the low of the day as our out. So if the market does collapse in, we took out 30% of our Google at 169 there. If the market does collapse in, we are going to try one more time on Nvidia. I like the space, that's for sure. And, you know, if anyone's going to buy $30 billion worth of your goods, I kind of like that company. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening here. Stop breaking through 40 on Nvidia.
Yeah, and everything seems to be fine. We just got the okay that all the issues seem to be resolved.
Okay,
well, Rob says Bell seems to be back in the back, so thank you, Rob. I just elicited Randy for a refill. Hopefully
good. He'll bring both.
So just two things first. First, the position I'm still in because Tesla, it's like a win one, lose one morning, all morning long. So with that in vain, the only new position is going to be Amazon at VWAP. It's also making a wedge. So I want to respect the fact that if it breaks out 201, while that's not the high, it's kind of making lower highs here and higher lows, which does mean you don't give it to the top in a situation like that. But I said my out was at 345 half. Tesla was compressing. I'm like, I'll take a breakout if it breaks out of that channel. I don't care which direction it broke, but it does fail. My stop was prior bar low. There's the out. People say they don't trade with stops. Prior bar low, if you hold past that, I mean, it hasn't really even bounced too much there just yet. So 344 bounce.
Tesla,
well, it's holding the lows right now, but it was in a compression pattern where the algos were in control at 44. They released. So I'm like, yeah, well, they released. Let's try the long play. It doesn't get past. And obviously, I have a fat line in there for resistance, and I went long into overhead resistance, which that's usually a rule that I'll follow. But at the same time, I thought the strength was going to be big. Let me get back over to AMD because
Andre, you sound
114 has now come in. So we let it get through VWAP, and all of a sudden we're starting to catch a little bit of a bid here in AMD off the 114 level that played before. So I'm going to work back into it. I think patience was the better way to go about this, not waiting for VWAP, because if we took VWAP, we'd just be out of the money an extra 30 cents. Now we get a bit of a better price as we start to come back in here.
A bit of a better. No, Andre was just testing the mic, and Andre, everything sounds great. You actually sound better than usual right there. So shout out to Andre testing. Who knew? Right there. All right, so Nvidia came back up. We got a little bit more out. Google's tanking right now. Google is now officially, or close enough to, your Dollar Club winner on that one. I just wish we had the same amount of shares that we had our first time around. All right, wow, there it is, man. Google is really coming back in now. So there it goes right there, man. I wish I would have had to stop at 170, not 169.60, right there where we initially got stopped at. Let's look at Coinbase because we are noticing some strength, obviously, in crypto universe right now as we're getting ready to take out the all-time highs. So congratulations to anybody that had sort of bought on that last dip. I got 103s. I know there's not that many buyers down there for right now. We'll have to wait to see if 100 winds up holding. I think a lot of people waiting for that. That's why I bought it. Like I said, man, if we're going to be holding this thing forever, I don't really care if I get 103 or 101. So I'm just going to, show my allegiance to Bitcoin and try to buy it on dips because I'm not smart enough to know how far it's going to go up or down right about now. But Google's that dollar, Nvidia's moving as well. Right there. So, all right, Texas Instruments, Affirm. Oh, you know what we haven't looked at today?
Affirm.
Let's take from the poor and give, take from the rich and give to the poor. We don't want to go the other way around on Robinhood.
Maybe that's what they were doing with the GameStop stuff, though.
I feel like, well, that is what they were doing.
Just saying.
But at the end of the day, it's funny because I went to, and I was sitting beside some Citadel guys for whatever what was that movie called again? That they
Dumb Money.
Dumb Money there, yeah. And the funny part about it is, retail at the end of the day, there's been studies, lost money on all that. Retail got smoked, and Citadel had record profits.
Yeah, of course, because there was so much volume. Dude, they crush it on that.
Because not enough people listening to Joe, when it comes to options.
The money people made money were the early Reddit people, the ones that were on what they were buying when Roaring Kitty was first saying this is a thesis. That's who made money on it. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, it was all fun, but we made money. You could make some good money on, I think, DWAC was much better for day traders, in my opinion, than a lot of the GameStop stuff.
We still have that clip from DWAC where we were like $100 in the money.
I'm just being real. Everybody here made more money on DWAC than they did on GameStop, and it's not even close. Not that, there was some moments for GameStop, don't get me wrong, but let's go back over to Adara.
This part of the show is brought to you by Easy Trading Computers. Have you ever entered an order to buy or sell, and the price you get filled that is completely different from what you expected? That's called slippage. Slippage happens when you're trading on an old or underpowered computer, and it costs traders a bundle. So that's why our friends at Easy Trading Computers created the complete guide to trading computers. This guide shows you exactly what technology you need to succeed as a trader and to avoid slippage. So go ahead and scan that QR code or click the link in the description box to get a free copy of this guide from Easy Trading Computers. Back to you.
There we go. We talked about having internet down a little bit today, not affecting our quotes or anything like that. But that's another thing. If you ever do get some sort of a lag in your systems or anything like that, definitely see what your CPU usage and all that is. Because sometimes you download a new program, I'm here to tell you, we love eSignal, but it does take, Chrome for sure.
Chrome's way worse than anything else.
Yeah, everybody uses Chrome. But if you are, maybe they do, I don't know. If you are in, Google's ripping. So if you are in the eSignal platform, the fact that it does quote 500 symbols at once, does have these real-time scanners, and the more things that you have up and running, the more of a CPU hit it will take. Wow, it's telling us, Neil, it's telling us right now about CoreWeave right now. So it is your 1. It is up 11%. So this is the benefit of what eSignal is doing. Look, there's lots. So what's WRD right now? Another, is that WordPress or something? WeRide. iWide.
Oh, wait a minute. There was this, shoot.
Is this Russell Wilson's stock?
There was a story on this recently.
But anyways, there it goes. Nice move up to the upside there for Word, Life, WeRide. Right there, Tesla, CoreWeave, Google, Nvidia, Wolf. There's the double Googles on there as it's trying to head back upside, which is fine.
There's a share repurchase on WeRide.
Right, okay, so they
reported, and they have a 100 million share repurchase program. There was something on it a couple weeks ago as well. But CoreWeave's the one, man.
Yeah, CoreWeave is hot fire.
Is the one. $101. Yikes. Okay. I guess this is happening. At some point this is going to break the trend. I'm just going to wait very patiently for if that, at this point it's like an if that happens. That's insane. Oh, we'll take my first L on AMD here. It tried to hold 14s. It got close enough to view up that maybe it was a scalp trade, but ultimately it's not going to end up working out. Well, wait, the first one was good, but now you have like a, whatever that shape is, and it's not a V shape, it's like an A, and that's not necessarily good. I want this to break the trend back up or retest the low. That's going to be the plan of action. As far as CoreWeave goes, when I say I'm looking for a mean reversion, I want it to I might even slap a 15-minute on this instead of, like I might slap a trend on the 15-minute in addition to the 3-minute, and then want to see some real confirmation before taking any shots. I did have one short on this the other day that worked, but it was like wait all day long for the perfect opportunity and then just take it one shot in. So that's the only way I'd stand in front of this freight train. And even then I wouldn't. I would take it on the way back in. Adara?
There are a lot of small caps today, fair warning. So not every single name is going to be on this list, but pretty nice bundle here we have today. Let's start here with the IWM. Down actually 1%. Huge topping tail candle for that most recent 15-minute print for the Russell 2000. Let's kick off here with WeRide, a name that is known and loved, just mentioned there, I believe, as well. WeRide here, earnings day one, they did have losses of 18 cents per share for Q1, sales of roughly $10 million. But as of March 31st, they do have a $610 million in cash and equivalents, and they announced a 100 million share repurchase program. This is an Nvidia affiliated name as well, slightly larger market cap, about $8.5 billion. GPUS here, we mentioned this one earlier. Hyperscale Data, they also reported earnings. So we have not one, but two earnings day one names here of these small caps. GPUS does have a 1.44 million share float, and about 19% is going to be sold short. Canada Goose, though, has an even larger float, or short float here. 21, almost 22% short float for Canada Goose, GOOS, and they reported earnings. EPS beat, sales beat, but they did not provide financial outlook for fiscal 2026 due to ongoing macroeconomic uncertainty, as has been the case for a lot of these retailers. So we also have ARQQ on the move, LAES on the move. It's a great day for small caps, but here are three earnings-related small caps you might want to watch out for. Canada Goose actually only has a $500 million market cap, guys. Back to you.
Right.
Thank
you, Adara, for all of that. Yeah, I mean, we got some more. Yeah, I mean, why you guys hate it? Come on. I mean, it's
Why does everyone
winter
hate on
time
Goose?
soon. Nah, it's just May. Chill out, Canada Goose. They do have more things other than jackets. All right, here we go, man. CoreWeave, Neil. It is now 102, and like basically just laughing at us. Or 102. I just looked at it. Yeah, I just looked at it. Was at 102.
This is straight.
My bad, CoreWeave. My bad. Right there, as you continue to go higher and higher right now, CoreWeave definitely like saying, you know, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Right there, CoreWeave, nice little long. I don't know if anybody saw Handmaid's Tale last night. It's my wife's literally her favorite show, and the last ever episode is next week. And yesterday's episode was hot fire. So I hope you guys, if you did watch Handmaid's Tale, it's a great show. It's filmed all here in Ontario and all throughout. My wife was actually in one of those episodes. I think her, I think her description was like beleaguered woman or something like that.
Beleaguered woman?
Yeah, she was one of those caged girls back in, I think it was season 3, episode 3 or 4, something like that. Yeah. Do you mean, look what you made me do. What you made me. Anyways, that's, if you watch Handmaid's Tale, the beginning of that has Taylor's new version of that song, and it's a great opening scene for Handmaid's Tale last night. I'm not gonna, in case nobody, maybe people slept in or didn't see it last night. Or
I don't want to do spoilers.
No spoiler alerts on that one, but yeah, Caged Woman number 2, that's right, Darwin, correct. Could have been number 3, I don't know. But okay, so
oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I still have CoreWeave up here, man. It is just kicking right now. I don't know if it's helping Nvidia or not. I mean, it must be helping it. It's not hurting it because Nvidia right now is saying, look what you made me do as well. They're trying to go back up to the upside right there on Nvidia. I don't want it to be talking about the same names. I'm talking about many different names, but I do only have 2 trades on Nvidia and Google. And Google, man, Google, what Google made me do was get out right there, but then we just got right back in. And then now the short is printing on Google. We're pretty happy, needless to say, about the performance there today with Google ripping and then now going up. What's up right now? What's up Tuesday is a Swiftie over there as well. I'm not necessarily a Swiftie, but my family sure as hell are. That is for sure. And, you know, her tunes are catchy for a reason. All right, let's go over to see what Neil's all about.
Well, it's not risky to be a Swiftie, but it is risky to trade because that's the nature of the game. But Trade the Pool is redefining what risk means for traders. No more risking your life savings to prove yourself in the market. They're going to give you access to company capital, up to $200,000 to trade real stocks, no CFDs. And your downside is limited to a single one-time fee that starts at just $47. That means no blowing up your personal account. You get to trade with serious buying power, all while knowing your loss is capped. All you have to do is pass the evaluation, and that's it. You're funded. Scan the QR code and get 10% off your start with Trade the Pool. Link also in the description. And one thing we always talk about for risk is make sure you have yourself an out. All right, CoreWeave, you got to eyeball it because it might break trend any second now. But once we broke the prior high, we jumped out. My stop did not run. I actually had to replace, and we were able to punch out. I actually did not move my stop from the 50 to the lower high like I said I was going to. Thankfully, I punched out manually. But CoreWeave for the first time, well, not the first time. I shouldn't say for the first time because it's had red candles before. But it hasn't had any continuation. So my trend is from the hold of VWAP. I like to ignore that sometimes that first parabolic candle. If it closes underneath that trend line, I'll take a shot at it. Prior bar high and all that good stuff is usually the plan of action for me. The other thing that's coming back in here is I haven't been involved in IBIT yet, but prior high is 61. So yesterday's high at the close was $61 on IBIT. It's pulling back into that now. If it does any kind of a bottoming tail like so, see like this bottoming tail candle in here to get an entry. Ideally, you get it at 61. I want to see the same thing or something similar to that off this heavy candle on the 3-minute for IBIT. So those are two things I'm looking at right now. IBIT, looking to engage in a dip buy, and CoreWeave, if it doesn't break the trend, I don't go short. And I 100% paid for locates this time. I don't even have to check. So we can here at Real Trading. If something is hard to borrow, then we usually pay a small fee to our broker. I believe this was like maybe a cent a share or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was very, very cheap for us.
All right, we're just covering things as we go here, but we do have a new position, so shout out to that one right now. We're gonna go short the TQs. I mean, look, man, we're $1 in the money on Google. We're only 30 cents on Nvidia. That's it. Whoa, okay. Look what you made me do, Nvidia. That's starting to go back up to the upside right now as well. We'll see if we can get a piece out right there. It's funny, we're making money on the Nvidia long, but then this position right here on ZTQQs, not doing the greatest. But we're gonna wait for that high rate. I mean, it's just, we wrote down 70.50. You know, today. That's been a great trade. It hasn't really cranked lower, so that's what's making me somewhat nervous, obviously, about this trade, but we'll give it a shot. Breaking through that 70-60 wall right there would be a good out for me. So $70.66 or so for an out if and but that happens. We'll get out right there. So I'm going to take another offer right here because we're close enough to that level that we liked early. So let's try to respect it and see what winds up happening on that right now as we go more short there into the Nasdaq. So we'll wait to see where that goes from there. We should have got more up there in the high 40s, so we'll take something right now at 43, and then we'll see where we go. 66 is the out. That's the new high right there, right now. For that trade. So yeah, man, Google trying to go downside, which is real nice. Again, breaking a little bit lower, but right now all my focus is on the Nasdaq. So let's see, man, we're short right now at 35s on the TQQs. Oops, that's not the TQQs. That's it right here. So we're short right here right now. A good little level there, just touched the 20 period moving average, which is 26s. So let's put a bid out there a little bit to take something out if we can get into that level one more time, and then we'll see about a collapse. The lowest it's ever been though was 70.20. So we'll put something there as well. We're just going to put 10% out every time. So all of these fills, we got to be a little more disciplined with what we're doing so that we have something, there it goes, so that we have something on board when this does happen. If the flush happens, we don't want to get out of it all early. So here we go. It's going to be a nice play for me today. I'm hoping anyways. That is the TQQ short off of 70.50. It's on the sticky note for that level. So let's give it a go and see if it wants to work. Google and Nvidia doing their own thing right now. My focus right now is on my newest position. It's the Nasdaq, and it is by far my heaviest.
All right, we're now breaking that trend in CoreWeave right here, right now. Oh no! Well, we got into IBIT. You know what? My thing didn't go. I didn't even notice. Apparently unavailable right now in CoreWeave. So my thing did not go through, my shorts did not go through, which just means I have to process it again, which I'm going to do live right here. It only takes a couple of seconds. Thankfully, you're not really cratering to the downside at this moment as it's breaking the trend line. So it gives me a bit of a shot. to be able to do that. The other thing is I did get the dip, as you'll see, into IBIT in front of that $61 level, so I am involved in IBIT to the long side, but I do want to jump into this CoreWeave. Give it means that they're repricing the amount of the locates. So I'll give it about a minute or so and then go back on over to it and then try again, because it'll be available. It's just a matter of time. So there was the second red candle on IBIT. There's our little bit of a bottoming tail. I want to hold to the high of the day, but also see how it does this little stair step up. I want to look for little places to add tight to the 61 level if I can get it, as it's already 10:30, everybody. And first trade in IBIT for me. Joe's been in it all morning long. So I wanted 29, not 39. Let's talk to Adara actually about crypto. Go up. That's all I care about.
We actually have some crude oil inventories. We'll go over these pretty quickly as well. 1.328 million coming in through for crude oil compared to the expected negative 1.1 million. So if you're trading oil or UNG or Boyle, just letting you guys know those numbers did come out. Here is Justin Sun. This individual here is the founder of the Tron blockchain, but we're talking about him right now because he's also the winner of Trump's Trump coin contest. Now, in case you missed it, Donald Trump will be holding a Trump coin dinner tomorrow in Virginia near his golf course. So basically, anyone who, I guess the top 220 largest Trump coin holders have won this dinner. Justin Sun was number one, and apparently he's also in talks with the SEC to resolve some existing civil fraud charges. So congratulations to Justin Sun, winner of this dinner. It's going to be tomorrow night. Unsure if it's going to be a market-moving event, but either way, if you hold Trump, just be aware that the results have been announced. If you're in the top 220 holders of Trump coin, congratulations. Here is Bitcoin, the 15-minute chart. Looks like we're maybe making a little bit of a lower high, but there was a while there where we seemed poised to break out that 108,000 level. It's worth noting a lot of these crypto tickers look a lot weaker than Bitcoin itself. MSTR is red. It's near day's lows, near that 410 level. So it seems like crypto, the asset, is trading a little bit differently than these crypto-related tickers. Let's take a look here at the daily chart, because daily chart, I mean, we're still looking really great. We have these mini bull flags. We've got this uptrend. BTC is right now knocking on the door of its all-time high made on Donald Trump's inauguration day. According to TradingView, it's around 109.4 thousand, but every crypto platform's usually gonna have slightly different numbers. Let's talk about these other crypto names. Ethereum here up almost 3% in the day, XRP 1%, Solana 2%. Doge and Cardano both up about 4%, and Tron, shout out to Justin Sun there, actually slightly red on the day. Most of these names, though, lightly green, kind of all trading in tandem today, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll send you back to the guys.
Thank you very much, Adar. I just realized something. It's entirely possible. Like I'm getting a quote for the short, but I'm not actually getting, like when I go to accept it, it's not working. I'm just going to go into our own support. It could have something to do with the internet issues, to be honest with you guys. And I turned to Joe and I said, it just set up almost perfectly with a run, not breaking the high. Like I know that's an ad and you'd be scalping out there, but it doesn't matter because I can't actually take that trade, unfortunately. Like I can't take the trade. So I can't be in it right now. IBIT, tried it. There's our green candle, or at least that was the bounce that we got off the 61. It lost 61, so it's still trending back down. I'd be patient and wait for it again. The thing about IBIT yesterday is I traded it twice. It was off the low, off of VWAP. We traded, I don't think I had that long, but I had like this long, and then we had the VWAP long, 5 or 6 longs when it was trending up. So I'm of the camp that I could care less if I have to take 3 swings at it to get one to hold, or 4 swings or whatever it might be. But what I'm not gonna do is sit there and like fight that one all the way back into VWAP. Tight stop, re-engage. Tight stop, re-engage. And I feel the same way about AMD. Tight stop, re-engage if it sets up. Did we break the trend or hold VWAP? No. Maybe we can get back down to the pre-market low and we get back into that one. Great, fantastic. That sucks. There's nothing you can do about it here, but that's kind of a perfect setup, because what happened in CoreWeave was a run at the top, does not break the high, wicks to 103. That's an add to your position for the short, but it's already making the pullback into VWAP, and it's doing so without me. So unfortunately, there's just not much you can do about it there. I want to get to a couple of names, like while I'm sitting here patiently waiting for a long, and the short that I wanted, we couldn't get. If anybody grabbed that on CoreWeave, congratulations to you. I'm going to double check on Wolf. And I'm going to give you a caveat if you're trading or looking heavily at Wolf. Because of its pricing, This is just, it's going to be something that halts very easily because they don't, like the halt bands to me don't make a lot of sense. Thanks, Sean. When you get it under $1, right? So like this is obviously, it's stabilizing a little bit here, and worth noting, the volume weighted average price is now underneath $1. So it's holding well underneath VWAP. So this might be played. This one I process shorts in the pre-market, so no issues with that. Man, but if it starts coming back into VWAP, I'm going to look for a fade on Wolf somewhere. We'll see.
What the hell just happened to Google right there? Like, so I'm in line getting coffee right there. So Neil got that, but it doesn't matter. My stop was there anyways. Look what just happened.
Ooh, that's hot.
Like I got short there, and then it got out, and then it absolutely tanked in for $1 winner. How many times is that going to happen to me? Ugh. Anyway, I thought we had a good price there, and unfortunately, go boom right there, downside. We did not get our reload on Nvidia, although look at that level.
Look at the topping tail.
That is pretty sweet. Our futures trade, though, we did get a nice little level there. We talked about 20s. It hasn't really done anything. That Google trade is going to haunt me because, yes, if you know, like that. Oh, we had a lot of shares up there on that one. That's really too bad. Oh, well. We wound up losing 15 cents net. The net is completely fine. If you do want to check out more data like this, man, make sure you do scan that QR code that's on your screen right now. It is the e-signal. It is a first month free. Get the scanners, attaches to all your brokers. It does everything for you. It is e-signal. Absolutely fantastic. Chart over 500 symbols at once. Put those on your hot list, put those on your watch list, put that in your pipe and smoke it with e-signal. Easy to use. That's actually in the write-up to say that. So no, wide array of tools, all of that. Hey man, so I'll do it. We're doing it live, and I'm uncontrollable. So there it is, level for over 500 symbols. Make sure you grab e-signal ASAP and start your trading journey today, right there. So, wow. Yeah, look, man, we talked about getting short on Wolf. I don't know what that's at now, 91 cents. We said the low would be 87, not a bad guess. 85 right there, the low. This Google trade, I'm going to literally throw up in my mouth. So if you see something coming out right now, that would be because of Google. I cannot believe that we just got run like that. That is insane, but that's the life of a trader. Okay, here comes the TQs. Let's take advantage of this again, man. I mean, we're here to trade and to get in and out of these positions, not just sit in them all day. So there it is, some more outs there on the TQs. Look, man, I think the market's topped out. We wrote down 70.50. It's right here. It's on the sticky note. We have that trade. We have the Nvidia long off of here. And we don't have anything else. We're waiting for UNH. But that's going to be a trade for me today. Let's see if we get VWAP. That's down there at 70. That's decent. Maybe if we break VWAP, we actually start punching even more short. So let's wait to see if that does come into play. But yeah, you can go directly to you-know-where, Google, because that's a tough one. So Wolf Speed, I don't know if UNH moved while I was getting a coffee. No, 305 and change.
I don't think so.
Right there. Unfortunately, Randy's so busy.
And obviously, I didn't put two and two together when I messaged Randy if he was available to get up, because obviously with the internet issues, remember real trading here, this is a head office, so they're servicing like all of the traders globally, right? So it's a big deal if we have any hiccups. So just, as I mentioned, I don't know if it was related or not, but I only now was able to get the locates. So that's on me, because I was just hitting accept and then looking away thinking it would process, but that was actually rejecting me. And we were able to get it, but the move has already happened. So just to be clear, it broke the trend, it double wicked the 103, never broke the high, but it just bounced off $100. So I think I wouldn't even hold it through to VWAP because Corey was like that. It gave you $100. I think you have to take it if you can get that. We're back into IBIT, but the name I wanted to go to right now was Apple. So Apple trending higher, still has yet to get through 207. So this is something, while the market has broken out highs, it has not made a fresh high. So as long as and that's not the best looking trend line, I'll probably redraw it in a second and then save it. But I wanted to squeeze all the way into the top, maybe double test the top, and then break the trend would be a perfect setup over there on Apple. We'll see if it does it. And then I just can't ignore something like this. I drew this trend line on the 15-minute on Google. So I was in at 168, and I'm like, well, wait until the key price levels. 170 is one on the daily. I guess I can't show you on the 3-minute chart, but I can show you on the daily chart. So there's your 170. and it just gave you topping tail fail, and I've drawn this trend line on the 15-minute candle. So you fail this trend line, and then the stop goes into the high. It's very similar to the short at the 168. We're going to take another shot there and go to Adara for sector watch.
This sector board is red with a few notable exceptions, and we'll start with said exceptions. Technology services sector has 3 notable green names here. Google, up about 3.6%. It was a bit of a sell the news reaction to yesterday's I.O. keynote with Sundar Pichai and co. But right now, nice push to the upside. Meta up about 0.6%. And Netflix right now above $1,200. So congratulations, Netflix, making all-time highs in a market where not everything is. A lot of other names, though, in this sector are red, including Palo Alto Networks on day 1 earnings. Electronic technology basically flat in contrast. So a lot of these big tech moves are going to be happening in tech services and not so much with these semiconductors. Finance weak across the board here. Retail trade really weak. We've got TJX, Lowe's, and Target all reporting earnings for retail trade. So this is a pretty big sector to watch for potential moves. Health technology red, consumer services red, utilities red, producer manufacturing with the notable exception of GE is going to be red. Health services will end here with, because all these sectors are red. We could go over all of them. But health services, notably to the downside, led by a 5% decline for UNH. We thought the stock was recovering, but then the Guardian reported some stories about kickbacks and payoffs with nurses with regards to Medicare. So keep an eye here on UNH. The company has already responded saying that the DOJ knows and they declined to prosecute for what it's worth. Back to you.
Get back in me. I was just talking to Sean about so when CrowdStrike had the big CrowdStrike dump, I remember myself.
You know what? Dara remembers the exact date,
which is crazy. Say it again.
19th.
July 19th.
It was July 19th, 2024. It was also the same day of Obi's birthday when he showed up and gave Sharif and I a cake on the desk. And he was wearing a ponytail and a polo. Back to you.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, but Obi always has the ponytail. So, that's...
No, he has the man bun.
The man... Okay, my bad.
It was a bun. He doesn't usually wear a ponytail.
What?
It was not a bun.
Okay, so fine. So now you've learned that I don't make the distinction between the two. But my point was that I was trying to get at is, so we both bought that dip in CrowdStrike. But I am habitually doing this. So I ended up owning more CrowdStrike than PanW. So when CrowdStrike got to highs, I'm like, oh, I'll just trim CrowdStrike. So I have more PanW than CrowdStrike, like I had it before. The second I did that, CrowdStrike was stronger than PanW. But I'm habitual. I'm a habitual. If I can find a place to take profit, I like to do it, and then when I'm always DCing into the markets. I have that money to do it when I'm taking profit in things. But I know it's a conservative style. So just one thing here. Alphabet is making another run at 170. It can break 170. This top, if you come to my chart for a second. Come to the chart. Chart.
On.
Chart. There we go. It can break this high and still break the trend on the 15-minute. But I'm not getting in. I drew it on the 15. So I drew it on the 15 from that test, like this test right back in here in the 67, and then connected on the 15 minutes. So it can break that trend. And if it does on the 15, I know I want to be in. So ideally, it'll do a topping tail candle here. I can jump in, and then it's an add if it holds underneath the 15. So I have I have that trend line, but it's a topping tail candle on 170 that I now want to play with. So there's your fail break of 170. I'm going to preemptively have a stop to this high as long as it closes without breaking this high. So you want this I want this candle. I always say that. Remember, I'm just sort of saying but I mean myself. As long as we don't break this candle or this new high, I want to jump into this one on Google, and I'm an adder if it does hold underneath on the 15-minute.
He's an adder. All right, so yeah, man, we are adding, and we are adding well right now as the bear gets his claws out. And again, my number one trade will be this one right now with the TQQs. And we didn't even start this trade until 10:30. So let's see now what it wants to do. Look, come on, futures, look what you made me do. So now we're short right here into that level. I like it, and it's starting to go a little bit lower right now, right here, right now. All right, I'm going to watch out for this Nvidia play because we are short the futures. Let me get something out here at 22 again if we can, as we watch out. We don't want to get completely out of all of our trades, but if I am feeling like the market's coming down, which is kind of bouncing right now, then we should think about getting some more out. So I'm going to bid a little bit more here at 31s. Give me that. There it is. And then we're waiting for wait a minute, VWAP? Sorry, I was waiting for the 200 period moving average. No, that's too low. Yeah, so VWAP at 70. I thought I just put a bid right down into here, 70.20. Yeah, so that is where I put a bid. I did put a bid right here. So that's my next bid. We'll have to wait for that to fill, and hopefully it does. And that will give us about 40% left of this trade. So get ready for that, man, and then we'll figure it out. So we'll figure that out if this wants to go lower. The only other position, I'm still pissed off about Google, but there it goes through 170.
It just broke the high again.
Wow.
This stock is ridiculous.
So
it's redonkulous.
It's redonkulous, yeah. The thing about this trade, though, for sure, to me anyways, is like whenever we find a strong stock, I actually wrote it down literally right here. Can you see? I don't think there's going to be any way to see this. No. This is mini sticky note. I'll just read it. It says, super strong stocks look for pullbacks into the 50-period moving average. You know, so like, again, good to make notes for sure. Not great not to follow them. But there it goes right there. So again, I write these ideas down because we talked about e-signal, we talked about these things. If I just sit here trading blind, then you cannot, first of all, I would never do that. But that's the whole point of watching the show, I think, is that we could talk about what our processes are and stuff like that. And the thing is like, I have all these ideas and I'm trying to, throw them on the table all the time. And the thing is like, if I'm going to take some risk, I better know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and where I'm wrong. Because then next time, when I'm trying to use more shares, like, you know what? I mean, it wasn't a lot of shares, but, it was a decent amount that we just put on for me here on TQQs. So you got to do that with some kind of confidence. And, we have done that, and we're just waiting to see what winds up happening now with it. But again, pullbacks into 50-period moving average on strong stocks. See, today, the Qs is not strong. Strong doesn't mean weak or strong. It just means an aggressive move. And right now, the Nasdaq's not doing anything. So I'm kind of ignoring the 50-period right now. It's not doing anything. We're using VWAP right now as our area of concern. So things change based on market conditions, as we all know, right? So you got to stay sort of diligent and make sure that you are doing your work. You're putting up, numbers that are respectable for you, but at the same time, possibly trying to always get bigger and get better, right? And on that note, shout out to Joe. We've already said this, what's up to him right there. Adding share size, getting bigger, getting better on his positions. And I mean, he had the IBIT long. I don't know if he's still in it, but there's the move back into VWAP again on IBIT. And then there's the bump up as we're going to take out all-time highs today. So that's 107.8 right now. You got to get to 109.3, 109.4. And then that's all-time high. So that will be happening, in my opinion, today. So get ready for that play to happen, hopefully sooner rather than later. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now, a nice aggressive move on IBIT. My next bid on this is $70.20. Oops. Wrong instrument, $70.20. So hopefully that can come in. I am starting to get a little bit, there's our out on Nvidia. I'm starting to get lighter on that. I'm actually going to cancel all these orders on Nvidia and regroup if it does come back down in. So let's just maybe get out of some of this and watch this thing bleed, hopefully, to the downside, as the Nasdaq's having a problem right now at 25s. Let me put a little bit of something there at 26 and taken out. We're still waiting for that 20 to come through.
Yeah, absolutely. So two things broke the high. Although one of them's back underneath it right now, Alphabet.
Yeah.
And IBIT. So it wasn't quite VWAP. The entry was not at VWAP on IBIT, but it was a bottoming. Like, look at the bottoming tail candle. Remember what we talked about? Bottoming tail candle, break of that prior bar open, and then you punch long. It goes right into the high of the day. Alphabet did another topping tail. On the 15-minute, though, whoops, you get that. There you go. Drag that back up onto my layout. One of the things I love about e-signal, by the way, is if you want to, like, it's so easy to snap things back into you can drag, pull something out and move it, and it's easy to snap back in. I want to put that request in on P Pro 8. Well, that topping tail, you're now on the other side of the trend line on the 15-minute. So the whole just shorted in front of that local high didn't work, but now you are under the trend line on the 15-minute with the prior bar being the actual high. So I will respect the second part of the equation, which is this test on the 15, give it to that top, willing to stop it out, of course. The only other thing that I'm not in is AMD, which looks much better on the 15 now. Like, it's starting to make some higher lows on that 15-minute, higher time frame. It's still, look, it's still not, Like, it's not a perfect long, but it's showing you all kinds of support at 114. This reminds me of Tesla yesterday, kind of at the middle of lunchtime when it just had this wedge going that it wouldn't break out of. It stopped dropping. You had some clean support here, and it just tried to break it out. And the play was, instead of waiting for it to break, the play was to just sit in the long off of that bottom. And if it breaks to 114, just get out. So I'm going to slide back in. I'm being very patient, looking for an uptrend. And if I'm not going to get that uptrend, then I'm just going to buy the bottom of the range here and sit in it on advanced micro devices and IBIT. Next time it does, wow, bye-bye.
Yeah,
next time it does any kind of a dip on IBIT, like whatever it does, trend reversion, play that trend reverse back into the high. It seems like that's the play, and that's all you got to do. Let's go to Adara for Money Talks, I believe.
Here's the US dollar, and actually this money is very much talking to the downside right now. We're just about to break that 99 level, so 100 support is totally gone now. And this move is actually being attributed by some to the confusion and uncertainty over President Donald Trump's one big beautiful bill. This is a tax-related bill. There's a lot of uncertainty here, and this drop in the US dollar, which is now, this is a 3-day losing streak, has been attributed, in part, at least from what I'm seeing, to concerns about this bill, whether or not it's going to go through. Right now, of course, it's pretty up in the air. But before we send you back to the guys, we're going to take a moment to thank our friends at ProfitX, because if you are looking for unbeatable odds on the biggest games, switch to ProfitX, this peer-to-peer platform where you set the price no more one-size-fits-all lines. It's like crafting your own picking strategy with real-time trading tools. Secure the best odds, track the action, watch your plays come alive, experience total control at every step. ProfitX, sports playing, reimagined, because users can use code TraderTV to get our sign-up offer of 2% cash back up to $300. Back to you.
We just got, thank you, Adara, for that. Yeah, make sure you do scan that, grab all of it. ProfitX. Great. We talk about those odds daily around here. So there goes a TQ. Oopsies, that's Nvidia. So we take advantage of that move there, but we also do get a little bit run on that TQQ trade as it goes right back up to the top. Now that we see that, obviously the Nasdaq is trying to make some waves as well. I'm going to go one more time, 70.71, just in case that was the top. The market's not doing that much. So if we do take out the top right now again, that would officially be, you know, a breakout. Like you bounced off the 50. By the way, on the TQs, you want to talk about being a little bit like, you know, we got those 20s when they fell back in there. So that was kind of a saving move right there for me. And so is this move back down in right now again. Sometimes, man, we get wicked out on the top. Let's punch some out here at 48s. There it goes back in again. So I don't like getting back in all the time because it means that you've lost on that first attempt. We had that with Nvidia same way, but then we were able to get back in right there. We got stopped out and right back in, and now we're, you know, nearing some of those highs again. It's not... we just trying to, when we get back in, sometimes we just try to scalp it again. Wow, I might be, now that Google's at 170.58, I wonder if I've almost made back everything from the, from that dump. Like this move back on Google is pretty epic, man.
It's right at the 200 period.
Yeah, the thing is, and then plus Tesla's starting to go back upside as well. Thing is, I did put some more money to work in Eli Lilly, and that's kind of flat right now. No, still a little away from all-time high, about 4% in my account, which doesn't matter. No one cares.
Oh, you meant the overall. I thought you meant the Liberation Day.
No, I mean like. So I don't log into my account that often, but...
Oh, no, I thought you meant specifically Google.
No, I have like a number in my head. Let's just say it's 100 grand.
I know, you're talking about your full, your total...
Yeah. Like I haven't gone in to look up the all-time high, but like the last number, I'm just using this one number in my head, and I'm using that as kind of like the top. And so now I just reflect everything against that number, and then I use the bad number, like how low it got. I think I was down about 20% at one time because we were really layered in. But then I was buying the Qs. We talked about that. I didn't buy too many individual names, but I was buying the indexes when we were getting lower because I was light on indexes, which has really paid off, obviously, in my last 20, 30 years because, you know, buying Google, you know, like buying Google at some of the prices. Like I remember punching Nvidia long 100 when it was pre-everything, pre-split everything. Like that went to $2,500 or whatever it was, right? So, yeah, you know, holding long term really has been a winner on some of these plays and not
Buy and
on
hold
others.
is undefeated.
You know, buy and hold is defeated at certain points.
No, I mean in the long run, okay, but in a general sense, in the long term, buying companies that grow and make money is simple math. Look, you're not gonna find Lillies and Palantirs and Nvidias without the occasional, you know, you said the weed stocks, so fine, the weed stocks. I was trying to come up with something that wasn't crapping on cannabis, but I'm going to crap on cannabis because it's the first thing that came to mind. We only have 5 minutes to go. We tried it on Alphabet. It held that 15-minute, and then it just broke out the other top. So give back about a third of our best stock yesterday, but I don't want to take it. There's no more levels on this outside the 200 period, so I do not want to give it any more than just that. IBIT is completely gone at this point, so I'm going to stay away from that one until we get some kind of a pullback. It did give it to you last time. It did give it to you last time, but this is now insane. The all-time high is 10.
What?
It's just underneath.
What? Bitcoin is really going.
So I think we're like $300 away from the all-time high in Bitcoin. I think.
I can pay rent.
I'm pretty sure. So congratulations. Oh, I got a button for this. Those are little Bitcoins. So there you are. Actually, the all-time high, according to this chart, it is above 109. It's like 109 and change or something like that. So this is the break. Bitcoin has been so ridiculously respectful of 3 simple lines on this chart that all you have had to do is buy low 90s, buy under 80, buy low 90s, and what I hope happens next is break out the prior high. What did it do last time? We broke out the prior high. Fly essentially the prior move, and then it just takes the same range over and over again. Like it's doing this like 20,000 or whatever you want to call it, and then the next range is another 20,000 or so. So you break this, and then the next range becomes like this to like 130 or something along those lines. You play the dips back into those prior lows, 92s, and then 110s or something like that, and just go stair step to the upside. So yeah, the buyers have been winning. We're now above, I mean, whatever. The all-time high is in a few $100.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a big trade, man. You guys know that we just reloaded. We didn't reload anything. We bought more down there at 103. So that's going to be a real nice move right there for us. It's not like it's moving that much. It's just a nice move there today, up 1.6%. I mean, Google's up 8% or something. No, 4% maybe. But there it is, man. A nice move there for sure. Google up 4% right now. Robinhood going nuts on this as well. There goes Robinhood, Joe. Robinhood now highs right there. Highs for a long time. Robinhood keeps on chugging higher there on IBIT. And I mean, Joe, you are the number one P&L guy around here, my guy. So there it is, man. Props up to my guy, Joe. Man, we've been talking about this guy for a minute. Shout out, Joe. Number one P&L on the floor right now.
Congrats, Joe.
Man, congrats, Joe, for that.
Always got to shout it out whenever it happens, you know.
Yeah, man, I shout it out all the time. And shout out to you, Joseph, for that one, man. Big time. And it's just about the growth for Joe, right? It's we've been calling him sort of mini-me for a minute. We want to congratulate that, but now he's making more money than me, so good job, Joe, on that one
109.
as well. Yeah, 109. Yeah, we have it up right here. It's 108.8 right now that I have. So we're going to watch out for that one. We're going to watch out for IBIT right now as well, trying to go higher. We looked at that long. I might just punch this. Like we had said that we wanted to get this long anyways, if and when IBIT goes. So it looks like it's trying to just slow down a little bit right now. I think this is. I think I'm just going to punch long. It's not a FOMO trade. I want the long when we break the high. It's like a breakout trade. But 61. You know, playing it back to 61.30, 61.40 is something there. 61.50. But yeah, it's starting to really get going there. Our Google trade is gone. We're out of that one a long time ago. It's Nvidia right now that's also at highs. So we ride with that one. And then we're flat on the TQs. Right there. After all this trading, man, it was my number one stock when it was down there, and now Flatsville on TQs, which is fine. The only stock that we're down on today is going to be Google, and that's obvious because we were short there, and we made money back, but we did get stopped out at 170, and we were bitter about it, and then we got stopped out again right there at 170. So good thing we did get stopped out. You play with no stops. Neil and I talk about this all the time.
Oh, you're going to get burned.
And you get burned. But sometimes, I mean, you know, Like if you didn't have a stop on IBIT, it would have been pretty good today.
Well, that's true. If you had no rules and you go long, sometimes it'll work out for you. But the effort as a trader, with only 30 seconds to go, I just looked over. I guess they want Sharif and Joe for the all-time high break, which makes sense. They got the bet going on. All of a sudden, that's very. No, okay. So I'm going to go to that chart in a quick second, but I want to finish the thought there. Because ultimately, if you don't trade without stops or have rules of action, then you're going to find yourself in a situation where like you're losing too big relative to your wins because you're letting it go too far. But sometimes it stinks. Like I had a stop on AMD, and that second long, in hindsight, is going to look fantastic. That said, I'm not seeing it break there's always different sources for Bitcoin. So like it's trading on like a million different exchanges. So I don't have it breaking the all-time high yet. I've checked a couple, whether it's Binance or Bitstamp or whatever. Look, to me, it hasn't broken it yet. So we're essentially there. This is the first dip since it went absolutely ham parabolic. So I want to buy into this dip because I don't think we've broken the top just yet. So the first kind of bottoming tail, whatever nonsense we get, I'm going to be going into the long into the all-time high, but it is 11 o'clock.
No, hell no. All right, here we go, man. Oh, hell no. Nah. We ain't doing that. Not for my guy over here, not on his big day. Yo, Joe, get ready, man. We're going to talk about what's for lunch, and then we're going to throw it over to those guys. By the way, I'm long IBIT right here, FOMO. All right, so I'm playing it back to 61.50. All right, today's pretty good, I think. Again, if you are a fan and if you've had some of these today, then you may like it. It's kind of a plain lunch, but it should be a good one. Sometimes plain is a little bit better. It is oven roasted barbecue. I don't know how that makes any sense. Oven roasted barbecue chicken legs. Is it oven roasted? Is it barbecued? You will find out about that very soon, along with crispy
barbecue sauce, I guess.
Yeah, I have no idea. What was that, Adara? Oh, everyone.
Barbecue sauce, but it's like oven roasted. I don't know. That's a dumb guess, but that's my guess.
That's
okay. Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, I love the fact that we're all getting involved. This is the big segment for the show right now. Crispy potato wedges, seasoned veg, and then some chopped salad with a little lemon and herbed vinaigrette. So shout out to the caterers right there as we'll go.
Oh my God.
Another one. Yesterday, for some reason, I had little pieces of falafel on my salad, and Neil.
That was a big win. It looked.
Yeah, actually. Well, now Andre. Andre's saying it was his.
But it had your name on it.
Of course, it had my name on it right there. So I would have loved to have switched with you, Andre. Yeah. Are you a vegetarian, Andre? Oh, pescatarian. Okay. I was going to say if you're a vegetarian, too bad.
Gotcha.
All right. So, so far so good here. We're long IBIT. It was a great show. Great job today, Neil. There we go, man. Let's keep going to the upside, man. We're hella long Bitcoin right now. Probably the largest position I've had in IBIT. So let's see what happens right now. Hopefully to the moon and beyond. Let's say 112.
Before we go by CompuCare team, Andre is a member of our production crew. The assassino, as Sharif likes to mention, in case you didn't know. But now you know, and let's go to the other show.
Yeah.
What's up?
People, we didn't plan it like this, but this is how it's going to go down. Welcome to the midday show. That's your boy Joey Options. And let Joseph know. I accept cash. I accept